What?
I'm just following your example.
Come on.
Hey guys, welcome back to Tuesday Dungeons and Dragons! Black Tower Stories, Adventures in Athoria! Yeah! Unfortunately, we are down a Calum. Well, we're not down a Calum. We're down a Kilmo. Calum is still here.
In spirit.
He's still doing wizardy things. He's just talking to himself and contemplating the mysteries of the universe. So, last session, you guys jumped around and did some teleportation stuff. You guys found an awesome inn in town and proceeded to pay for a room. Got a little bit of food, and then due to some Calum shenanigans, got teleported halfway across the kingdom
Before the
uh,
food arrived.
before the food arrived. Yep. And so, yeah. And so you guys spent some time over at Mistress Sabile's, taking her the cursed skull that was part of a Nerul's dark ritual. She was able to seal the skull, and is arranging for some other individuals of considerably more power to take over long-term maintenance of that sealing. You guys then returned to Avedon and and picked up Valorheart, the purified form of Heartvein um, that you received from the vampire Sir Caridon in the ruins not that long ago. Now purified, it's presently in Kelmac's possession. But you were warned that given the great desire to reclaim that historical artifact, that some individuals might come looking for it. Or you might be inundated with solicitors offering to purchase it. You don't really know. Either way, Caleb and Yandere decided that they were going to go to the guild to file a petition because they are going to go looking for another historical artifact on behalf of the Guild of or the Temple of Areva, and want to make sure that that work is spoken for, and that no other members of the guild get involved, either to also search the relic or to take up jobs attempting to steal the relic or anything like that. While Izal and Volred, we're going to check out the Historical Society to try and gauge whether or not assassination is high on their list of priorities. So, any points of order before we begin?
Welcome back, Aaron.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
moving,
Aaron's back.
and I was at some work stuff.
He was.
That's why I've been gone for a while.
You did it.
You can see he was listening intently to what Eric was saying because he has no idea what just happened. So, like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
There's a lot of politico stuff happening.
Well, you know, that's what happens. That's why I love cities and Dungeons and Dragons. Because you can get an awful lot of adventure and stuff, and you don't have to generate half a world. You can just ruins, yeah, ancient ruins,
Ancient ruins. Elven ones.
The whole world is
elven ruins, and then dwarven ruins, and then more elven ruins.
And then there's
and
like
then
a
you're
human
just
shack.
Nope, and then you're at the Underdark.
I thought Shaq was a human, but it makes sense. He is very
I'm
powerful.
gonna go half giant on that one.
Anyway,
I would say Goliath.
Zavana.
so let's see. Calum and Yandre, you guys were heading to the Avedon Adventurers Guild in order to file a petition. That work goes just fine, especially with the note Daith was able to give you. So you guys have registered that as a private quest, one taken directly from the temple. As such, they'll not advertise it and make a point to prevent any similar type quests and along that brain from popping up.
And also prevent any hits for anybody in our guild or party.
Right. Yeah. So the long story short is the guild is now aware that this work is being done, and anything done against you on behalf of your employer or behalf of your group is now a guild matter, and therefore the guild will intervene if necessary. So
Fun
there you
stuff.
go.
If
Filing
we're
paperwork.
if we're in another place, then it may not be enforceable, and someone could just be like, "Hey,
Well, it would certainly be enforceable if the people who attacked you were members of the guild. The guild would not take very kindly to that. It at least removes from the pool a number of individuals
we're probably highly skilled."
who are highly-ish skilled. We'll do
Highly
that.
skilled?
Oh, no.
Highly-ish skilled.
It's Highlands.
There aren't that many adventurers that kind of reach level 10, you know. So, yeah. But, Izal, Volred, you guys were heading over to the Abaddon Historical Society. Yeah, over in the Trade District, actually, kind of nestled in a centuries-old stone building with kind of this ornate facade that has, like, previous grandeur, as though it may have been once kind of a noble villa. You find the Historical Society, whose doors are open, and a few individuals wearing somewhat modest clothing are kind of milling about a garden area, discussing various topics, most of which regarding historical significance. You kind of make your way into the building and kind of see, I guess you would essentially like a tea party off in kind of a foyer area off to your right, where it looks like individuals are having a rousing debate regarding, you know, different battle strategies that the kingdom used in its past, and, you know, ways that things could have been different. But without too much time passing, a figure approaches you. Appears to be kind of this. You strike him as certainly some kind of wizard. He wears somewhat middling level robes on the ornate side, but not archmage in level. And he's got kind of this short kind of mess of brown hair, and makes his way up to you and goes, "Ah, welcome to the Abaddon Historical Society. My name is Dorian. I'm one of the resident wizards and sages. Guest lecturer, also from time to time. Is there something I can help you with?"
Oh, yes, I'm Izal Zeller, with the guild. What was I gonna say?
Silver Knights of the Mythal.
No, I was going to say something else that I forgot. Here to go over some guild questions and representing the Silver Knights of the Mythal. We just
yes, of course.
recently acquired a job per se, but we'll trying to make sure that we're not going to cross anyone in the process of acquiring it.
Understood. And welcome to have you here. I am at least somewhat familiar with the noble clan of Zella from the far north. Occasionally, your family members do make their way down south. Most of what I have has to do with the elven kingdoms of Tybel Se, and they are rather tight-lipped, only to say that the name is well known, though no one can really tell me why.
I'm sure
At any
it's
rate,
all a misunderstanding.
yes. Well,
You kid yourself is all. That's a very important backstory.
This is my fellow guild member. I gesture.
I reach out my hand to shake Dorian's.
And
Why, hello
reaches out
there.
and returns.
You may call me Volred of Kiosa.
Ah, and I too know the noble house of Kiosa. Some crazy stuff happening up there recently, huh?
Oh, really? I'm a little out of touch in the last couple months, but you are right, there's always something happening. What have you heard recently?
Ah, well, from what I've heard, the Crown Princess has returned, and there's been a bit of muffling regarding a marriage and some friction between the family. I don't know. I suppose they don't much like the man she chose, but, noble parents and all. But as far as I'm aware, nothing has particularly come of it just yet.
Well, I have heard the noble daughter has had terrible decision-making skills in the past, so that
Well,
isn't much of a surprise, unfortunately.
yes, well, I suppose we should all at least be interested. After all, Kiosk is a prime exporter of weapons to Ashgar, and if tensions between Be'lakor and Ashgar continue to deteriorate, well, let's just say it would be sad to have enemies so close to our borders.
Yes, of course. Definitely something to consider in such a time of awkward diplomacy.
Yes, indeed. Though who knows for certain? After all, from what I'm aware of, the Crown Prince is still missing, and as he is the heir, well, I suppose there is some whisperings regarding his competency, and who knows? Perhaps if he returns, then we may not have anything to worry about. Anyway, you mentioned that you had questions regarding some work.
Believe it or not, just to set the record straight, I always had a very great time with Dare Love. Sorry, I interrupted out of turn. He was much more of noble standing in his actions, from my perspective.
Sure
But I'm
his-
sorry, continue.
I'm sure
I see.
his reputation and backstory are very relevant.
Yeah, so apologies. I wasn't aware that you were intimately familiar with the royal family there. At any rate, please, can I grab us some tea or something to drink? Perhaps some mulled wine?
I'll take some tea.
I'll take some wine. Thank you.
Of course. And then he leads you into like a little side sitting room that's got these kind of leaded glass French doors. As he kind of leads you in and then comes back with some drinks and it's like a little hors d'oeuvre, like cracker, cheese, meat plate. Nothing extravagant, but obviously just trying to be cordial. And then he kind of closes the doors in behind him, though you can still see outside into the main area of the building. He kind of moves over to the chair opposite and kind of tucks in his robes as he goes to kind of sit down. You were inquiring about some historical artifacts, I believe. Did you have something of interest for the society?
Yes. We are currently on a quest on the search for a item known as the Queen's Harp, the Serenity of Melody. Apparently it's been lost for quite some time and we have no real stepping stone to begin, so figured might as well head right for the source where most of the information could possibly be held.
Yes, indeed. Of course, I'm quite familiar with Serenity's melody. It is a cultural treasure, at least if it were ever to be found. On one hand, I must say I'm a bit surprised. Not that I'm particularly surprised that people are still looking for it. It's just any previous attempts have largely ended in failure. So I imagine most serious treasure hunters have given up the chase quite a long time ago, and the only ones left seem to be individuals who wish to get rich quick, or people who want to find it particularly because of its historical significance.
We fall in the latter. We are trying to do this as a favor to the Historical Society, just so we can stay in good graces with them. But
I see.
we can't exactly start off just asking around in like the slums of some place.
Indeed, indeed. Well, I'm not entirely sure what all you are aware of, but Serenity's Melody, or more commonly known as the Queen's Harp, um, was a personal belonging of Queen Isabella of Abaddon. Uh, Her and her husband were the regents of this particular area towards the end of the Third Age, beginning of the Fourth Age, at the time when the place was still, most of the islands were still being used as prison colony. Once the rebellions set in, that began the actual unification of the archipelago and the subsequent founding of the magiocracy of Bellathor. Uh, the Kingdom of Abaddon was one such kingdom that was conquered in that particular group of events. Considering most of the actual mainland armies that, along with the Kingdom of Eldamir to the east, were bastions and military powers, all things considered. But Queen Isabella was known for her love of her people and quite legendary musical talents. It was often said that she would, throughout several times of the week, just appear at different taverns or perhaps in plazas throughout the capital and begin to play, taking any request necessary. It is said that the people of the capital greatly adored her, and in many forms, after battle, wounded soldiers returning and gripped in pain, she would often sit in the hospitals for hours, just playing and attempting to soothe the wounded soldiers as best she could. Apparently, she was so powerfully gifted with her skills that even Amata, the goddess of beauty, healing, and music, often would whisk her away to give private performances for the goddess. And, well, it's no one truly knows exactly, but we do know that the Queen's heart disappeared along with the Queen herself during the fall of Abaddon, at which time nobody was ever found, so no one knows whether or not the invaders had killed the Queen and stolen the harp and whisked it somewhere else. Others tend to believe that Armada herself intervened and whisked Queen Isabella away, not wanting to give up her favorite musician, so to speak. So there are many in the Historical Society who have given up coming to believe that the harp is simply unattainable because it no longer dwells on this plane, but rather the divine plane with the goddess herself.
Well, that's a starting point, at least.
Perhaps maybe, Azal, we should consult some gods on this matter.
Right. I'm not too familiar with the god pantheon down here. What is Goddess Amada known for? What's their specialty?
Well, officially speaking, she is the goddess of beauty, healing, and the arts. So you could say that she is first and foremost known as a healer. But she is a deity who is free-spirited and values creativity, self-expression, and joy, in truth. So art is one of her common ways that she does that. And she does so by bringing hope and inspiration to those who worship her. So I do know her temples are very common within the Isles, especially considering her natural skill with healing. But yes, personally, I find her temples to be gaudy monstrosities. But
Art is
you know,
subjective.
yes, but yes, the temples are typically built with a sort of high classical art sort of votive, one that sort of emulates the most gaudy palaces of the wealthy.
Ooh, Azal, this sounds perfect for me. I have an eye for, well, in your gaudiness.
Well,
That was also a pun because, we're talking about a goddess, and, you probably understood that.
yes, of course. So, yeah, so a great many people go there for healing. General council. There is also you can occasionally go there for a manner of personal hygienes and such, as there are often places there to purchase nice clothing. They often have bath services if you're interested in that sort of thing. I believe they just generally call it a spa.
Go on.
Well, I've personally never been, but there are individuals who go there in seek the goddess's divine skill for beauty. And so they will pay absurd amount of money to bathe in waters rich with oils and herbs and other magical tinctures. And I've even heard women take tweezers to their eyebrows in some sort of pain ritual. I don't quite understand it, but whatever.
Have you heard the phrase pain is beauty?
No, but it certainly sounds like something a priest of Amata might believe.
Do they serve boar by chance?
Not to my knowledge. It's not really a feast sort of place. If you want something like that, you might go and try the Temple of Beleriand.
BYOB.
Noted. Balerian. I'll have to check that out.
Indeed. Beleriand, well, he's actually Amata's brother, all things considered, so it's quite remarkable there. But he's a god of entertainment and revelry, although most look to him a god of debauchery more than anything. There are some places around here, but most of the people who worship him specifically go to Night Harbor, to the Abbey of Revelry. Partake in that debauched gala they have there.
That sounds hideous.
Azal, are we at the Historical Society, or does this sound like the best event planner we've come across?
Does fill up our schedule quite a bit, and we can actually accomplish things.
What? Accomplish things?
I'm all for two birds, one stone. Well, that does get us setting off on the right foot, though, so we really appreciate this. Is there anything you might ask of us? I mean, we're well-traveled. You're a person interested in information.
Yes, of course, but I am somewhat curious. As the Queen's Harp is quite a significant historical object. You mentioned previously that your purpose for collecting this is to get the good graces of the guild. This sounds like an awfully extravagant way to do that. I'm curious if there's any particular in-game you're looking for.
Well, we've come across some items for the Historical Society before. We're kind of attached to one of them right now, so in order to remain at least fairly neutral, we're trying to find a replacement. So this one's highly sought after, and we're highly skilled. We should be able to accomplish this at least. That way, we don't have an issue 10 years down the line when someone comes from the Historical Society to, attack us or ruin our reputation, make it impossible to buy things. It's really make sure everything stays status quo.
Oh, no, I certainly understand. I can understand, given the medallions you wear, I take you for adventurers. And yes, we do have adventurers come from time to time, particularly to find if any of their items that they've managed to procure in their travels are of historical merit. Most not, but occasionally we find something interesting. At the very least, we often pay for information regarding ruins or anything like that may be found, as we do send off archaeological expeditions from time to time. So that is also a good way to get in touch with the guild. As far as personal belongings, it is not the policy of the guild to forcefully retrieve objects from personal collections, though I won't discount the fact that there are some ardent collectors who would certainly consider such measures. Normally, in worst case, the society is mostly interested in just the knowledge that such an artifact has been found. And obviously, depending on the artifact, we can pay quite substantial sums in order to procure those objects. But also, oftentimes it goes a long way. We have had some individuals where the crown has had to come somewhat involved in attempting to collect items. In some cases, we write a sort of note, a promissory note, so to speak, which basically states that in layman's terms, it states that the society is actually the owner of the object to any particular adventure or their party for life. And so that at such time, if your party should become dissolved or defunct, or the individual holding it should pass away, the society has a way of legally obtaining that object. And in most cases, adventurers who are willing to do such a thing, that is received warmly.
Mm.
The primary thing is to simply not lose the artifact again due to some drunken adventurer using it as collateral for a gambling debt or something of that nature.
Well, I don't think that'll be an issue. No gamblers in our party.
Indeed.
None. Never.
For my own edification, and so that I could perhaps record it, which object was it that you found exactly?
Does he seem trustworthy? Is he just, or is he
Roll me an insight check.
Cause don't want to give information to someone who's like, I finally caught these bastards. Man, I got a +4 on insight. Hell yeah.
Yeah, brother.
19.
How bad? 18? I see 19.
I said 19.
Okay.
I said it wrong.
Ah, okay. Anyway, just going over, I mean, this guy's been very quick to answer your questions. Any pausing he has, you get the sense that it's more kind of like a Calum pause when like a wizard's about to jump in to explain something very complicated and has to kind of wind his way back to figure out a more simplified way, a non-wizard way of saying it. But the way, basically from this guy, you get the sense this guy just loves teaching. And so he's just genuinely happy to find someone who is genuinely interested in this topic to listen to him. But you don't know how he might feel about that particular artifact.
Alright, do you recall the name of the sword?
I don't. I've been so taken aback by this goddess I hope to meet, enjoying in relaxation. Plus, I didn't really care for this sword anyhow.
Oh, well, I remembered what it is. The lion-headed Valor Heart. Very shiny, bright.
He kind of thinks for a moment. Yes, indeed, I've heard of Valorheart. Certainly a historical treasure for the region, though not one of Abaddon specifically. It's more native to the Kingdom of Eldamir, to the east, or rather the fallen Kingdom of Eldamir. Certainly an artifact that the Guild would be more than willing to collect. But truth is, I believe I partially recall the Guildmaster mentioning something about that. Master Lochran, I think, had mentioned something about a sword being found. So it is quite interesting that you are the ones to bring it. At the very least, if you are amenable to bringing it by sometime, we would certainly enjoy having an archivist or a curator at least looking at it, doing things such as taking measurements, drafting more realistic renderings of the blade, get an idea about how it is you got it for the historical record. But yes, I understand that that's a bit of an imposition, but that also might be an interesting thing, especially even to just note that you do indeed have the sword, especially because if you intend to sell it or give it away and it finds out it's not a genuine article, well, that would be quite a grievous crime. And actually, indeed, if you were amenable to doing that, the society is actually even capable of giving you a certificate of authenticity to prove, verily, that the artifact in question is what it is. It should. It might be helpful in the future in case you collect some unwanted attention regarding individuals who might name you charlatans. Again, not necessarily, but it is a service that we provide, and normally at a fee, but given the historical significance of the blade, I'm quite certain that Master Lochran would allow us to waive the fee in that purpose, considering the wealth of historical knowledge that would be involved in that process.
It's simply something we could try to set up. We aren't too busy today. We have a few meetings and apparently a spa that we have to go visit. But something later this evening, we could possibly try to set up a meeting with Lochran. I would prefer our party all be together in that situation. That way...
Oh, yes, of course. You are free to do it in any case. We could even meet at another location if one is preferred. We could come to you, I suppose, is that purpose too. I'm not entirely sure. That may end up being best, as if you do come to the guild here, the society has an awful lot of members who would be very interested in the sword. And while they might be quite thankful to get a glimpse of it and hear the tale, there would also be some individuals that perhaps you wouldn't want that level of attention.
Perhaps we could set up a meeting at the Adventurers Guild. I'm sure they have some somewhat private areas that we could sequester for a bit to go over the information.
Yes, of course. We have a wonderful relationship with the Adventurers Guild. We put a number of bounties out there for objects. By the way, I notice you are gold adventurers, correct?
Yes.
Well, I believe at that point it makes you capable of taking direct jobs. If you are interested at some point in the future, might we inquire for you directly in terms of jobs to acquire objects from us? Will that be amenable?
Absolutely.
Yes, we have contact with our guild affiliate who can get access to us instantaneously, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Excellent. Just because there are occasionally some objects that prove to be quite difficult to find, dangerous to retrieve, or in some cases we just want to be sure that the individuals that we are going to get to have retrieved the artifact are of reputable quality. And generally speaking, adventuring parties of your particular caliber are not often desiring to burn bridges with the guild for the sake of a quick payout.
Oh no, we're all about reputation.
Right. And so you said your affiliate name was Silver Knights for the Mythal?
Yes.
Very well. Yes. Okay. Very well. Silver Knights. Do you actually have knighthoods?
Nights, well, as in like nighttime.
Ah, so it's a clever wordplay.
Yes.
Very clever.
Got a plaque made of it and everything.
I see. Well, that is quite interesting. I should have to hear the story about that sometime. At any rate, was there something else I could do for you?
You've given us quite a bit to jump off from. Would we like to set up a meeting later this evening at the guild hall?
Yes. Lochran is not here at the present moment. He is assaying some artifacts taken out of a elvish ruin that was received sometime a little bit ago to verify their authenticity. He should return here within a couple hours. But we can send word to the guild, and if and whenever you're ready, you can, of course, feel free to send us word as well, or when to meet. Again, given the nature of the object you have, we are quite flexible, as we would like to do whatever in our possibility in order to ensure that this gets done.
The inn we're staying at's not too far from the guild, so if he's available for meeting this evening, then I'm sure he can reach out to us through the guild. And they have our location at where we're staying at, and we can set up that meeting.
Very well. And he kind of reaches into his robe's pocket and hands you over a business card.
Ooh, rounded edges.
Yeah. Rounded edges.
What does it look like?
It's basically just thick white parchment. It's got kind of a linen finish, and it's got black, kind of stylish lettering with some gold embossing.
That's it.
Yeah, it is somewhat basic, but it just says Dorian Ravenscroft, Avedon Avedon Historical Society Deacon.
What an electric name.
Ravenscroft?
Yep, Ravenscroft.
Dorian Ravenscroft.
Avedon.
Father of Laura Croft.
You said deacon?
Yep, he's a deacon.
Nice.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, basically means he's like management here. He would probably work like under Lochran.
Should have worn my Karen haircut.
You speak to your manager.
I am the manager.
Well, we'll be off to do our own little investigation here and hope to hear from you all later this evening.
Of course.
Thank you again. I don't have a business card, sorry.
Don't worry. With a name like Zella, I don't imagine you would be very hard to track down. Sorry, that sounded a bit like a threat. I
It
didn't
did.
mean it that way.
It did,
Oh,
but it's okay.
I'm used to him.
Yes, apologies. Well, please take some charcuterie to go, if you like. And if there's anything I can do, please let me know. The Adventurers Guild also has me listed as one of their sages. So if you require information or need to get a hold of me outside of the Historical Society for some reason, the Guild should be able to facilitate that as well.
Thank you. And Volred just picks up the entire bowl of the charcuterie, or like whatever it's in, like the tray,
It's like
and
a
just
platter.
proceeds to just like act like, oh yeah, like absolutely.
He has no tact.
Actually, allow me to wrap that up for you. You certainly wouldn't want flies or anything getting at it.
Why, thank you. Your service is amendable.
And he kind of comes back and pulls out like this little, small, almost kind of looks like a bento box,
Neat.
and starts kind of laying these almost kind of like sheets of thin parchment in layers to kind of separate little cubbies, and kind of puts the box on top. It's not like a really, really nice box, but it's a little nicer than cardboard. And then
Thank you.
Is there
hands it
cardboard?
there's thick paper that exists.
Okay.
That's it. We gotta invent cardboard now.
Yeah, basically all they do is they just keep putting like paper fiber until it's like a nice thick sheet. So I guess it's more like chipboard. No cardboard, but they do have chipboard.
Ah,
Only it's not as durable because it's not held together with glue.
thank you.
Thank you again.
My pleasure.
We leave.
Bento.
As we leave the little area, it's like, cool.
So we're seeing this goddess, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
we're not. Sorry to interrupt, but I wasn't finished. We're seeing this goddess, and we're not just doing this as quickly as possible. Okay, we're going to enjoy this time, right?
Yep, we're all about enjoying the situation.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear, and I expect us to continue with that line of behavior.
All right, just don't shoot any artists, I think. I want to piss off this one.
I'm not trying to get into any fights. We've been doing that lately. I'm trying to get a slight vacation. And this sounds like we can have some rest and relaxation while actively maintaining goals. So
Hey.
this should be a win-win.
The real paid time off kind of thing. We get accomplish things and relax. All right.
Yes. Caleb will somehow ruin this, I'm sure.
Oh, he'll fuck up the rituals. It's gonna happen.
I'm excited, though.
Should we try to contact the goddess without Caleb first?
Well, that would just sound rude to leave Caleb out, carte blanche.
And he's very good at making sure we're always involved in all of his god things.
Yes. We should include Caleb, it's only fair. But I will give him a stern talking to not mess this up for us. Not mess this up for us.
That's right. We.
I'm glad we're in agreement. As Volred starts unraveling that bento box of like charcuterie that he was just eating and starts walking away, just kind of eating roughly like 3/4 of what's in his hand and just kind of tossing like the last part on the ground.
Uh-oh, he's getting back into bad habits.
Oh no.
It's gonna relax. It's gonna ruin things. We'll head back to the tavern inn that we were at. That way we can hopefully meet up with the rest of the party.
Okay. All right. And just that way I understand, what inn did you... Because you guys just flew in here and haven't actually found an inn yet.
Wasn't this the one? Wait, which one are we at? We're in Avidin?
Mm-hmm. You guys found an inn, paid for one night, then disappeared, and now you're back the next day.
We had to walk back.
Or, yeah, you had to walk back. So now this is several days later.
Yeah, and we told them that, sorry about that issue. So which one was that?
So,
The Tranquil
it's now
Haven?
like, yeah, the Tranquil Haven. So, you guys have not actually found an inn.
So we came back and just immediately split up.
Yep, pretty much.
All right. Well, let's hope they go to the Tranquil Haven, 'cause that's where we're going. Or we should head to the Adventurers Guild so we could meet up potentially on the way there.
Yeah, we didn't really do a great job at deciding where we would meet up. We do this too much.
We just assume we'll find each other.
How do we always find each other so quickly?
Well,
I feel...
one of us is like a 6'8" cat.
Yeah, but I mean, look around at the city. There's so many people. I feel like it would take more magic than we have to just coincidentally run into each other constantly like this.
Pure luck and happenstance?
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't run out of it.
Not
Yeah,
with our...
because usually when you guys miraculously find each other, it's in a village.
with a lot less people. It's one of those things where you lose someone at the store, you just look down the aisle real quick to see if you recognize someone and they immediately keep walking past. Like, all right, not here, not here, not here. But it's the entire town.
Where did y'all leave me?
You probably went with Yandere then. If you weren't with us, then you had to have been with Yandere.
Or you're just walking.
Oh boy.
That's
Yo,
right, Azal.
yo.
We said that we'd meet up with Kelmac. He was just going to walk the street in loops, and we'd eventually meet up with him.
Or you guys sent Kelmac ahead to the Tranquil Haven to secure rooms.
That didn't sound like
It's
something
too
we should do.
convenient.
I don't know.
It makes too much sense.
Maybe Kelmac too was pissed at not being able to get that food and decided that was the very first thing he wanted to do upon returning.
It's possible.
Because remember, Yandere, you and Kelmac were this close to getting
Volred.
booze and food.
Volred.
You're
Yes.
right. Volred and Kelmac were this close to getting booze and food before you guys were unceremoniously dumped.
So I'll turn to Azal and just say, I hope Kelmac was able to make it in time for that boar lunch. I completely forgot about it, getting excited about the goddess Amata.
And we could check.
What's the matter with you?
I just heard a terrible pun. We should go check.
10d6 lightning damage.
Okay, by the way, when Dorian was like, oh yeah, like, are there any other objects we could measure? I wanted to be like, oh yeah, I got something you could measure. But I didn't say that.
Yeah, I don't think it would be of historical significance.
I mean, we haven't gotten to
Or
that.
particularly noteworthy.
Could be.
Probably accurate.
Default.
Default genitalia applied.
I couldn't find the slider on this one.
Genitalia C.
Oh, okay. All right.
Baldur's Gate joke.
Moving on.
Baldur's Gate humor, everyone.
Ball?
If you played Baldur's Gate, you know.
Oh, no. Okay. All right, moving on, because I thought of like 3 different other side tangents I could go down on that and said, nope, not a good idea. So, you guys were heading to the Tranquil Haven.
Yes, to meet up with Kelmac, who certainly went and found a room there.
Yes, Kelmac, you found a room at the Tranquil Haven.
Did I find multiple rooms? Because I really don't want to have to squeeze all of us into a room.
We did that one time that teleported away.
That's true. So when just kind of catch up because I'm not sure if you rewatched the episode, but this place is kind of it's a building that's kind of donut shaped, although a square donut, not a round one, with a courtyard in the middle. It's
Open
got
courtyard?
open courtyard.
Okay.
It's got a bathhouse, a feast hall, several rooms with some other amenities. It's got a concierge and laundry service. It's actually really nice. The innkeeper is Alara Dawnseeker.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
And
whoa, whoa,
when
whoa. I'm
Agreed.
actually making notes.
yeah, I got you. But whatever I need to add to the dump in the campaign notes.
Alara Dawnseeker?
Dump.
Dawnseeker.
Dawnseeker.
She's the innkeeper.
Dun dun dun.
But when you request multiple rooms because of your squeezing issue, she asks you how many rooms you would need, or if you wanted to do a suite instead.
I think we'll need 2 and a cot, and we can. A suite is connected.
A suite, yeah. So you got a couple ways you can do this. You can do separate rooms. You can do separate rooms that are adjoining, or you can do a suite, which is multiple bedrooms that hook up to one living room, bathroom type thing.
Just
Sure.
a
Ready
sweet.
for Calmac to be as bougie as he wants.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So the suite will run 3 gold a night.
I don't know how long we're gonna be here.
That's fine. Just pay for one night.
Fine.
And you guys are on the eastern side of the courtyard over by the feast hall.
Ooh, this is the best one.
Is
Yeah.
it upstairs or downstairs?
You guys get upstairs.
Yes.
Okay.
And you guys have a choice between windows that face into the courtyard or out to the suite. Your streets, your choice.
The most
just
important
whatever you
is
pick.
there's a stairwell.
Finally, we could converse.
No, you have to use a ladder to get up there.
Conversation on the ladder,
Um,
it's extreme.
Oh yeah.
We'll just take the
I want you to
one
pick,
facing the
so that way
courtyard.
your party can roast you later if they want to. Okay, so you pick one in the
Listen.
courtyard.
Yeah.
Fine enough. The one you have, it's nice. It's 2 bedrooms that share kind of a larger room. It's got like a small living room and a dining room inside. It has a fireplace, got some wood up there, and a private bathroom. If that's the way you want. And the concierge, Gareth, is like, no worries, we'll bring up a cot, an extra bed to put in one of the rooms. And then if you need anything else, just let me know. Kind of scenario. So,
Garrett.
all of that gets, yeah, his name's Gareth. All of that gets taken care of. You rush over to the feast hall before Caleb gets a chance to do anything, and then order some food. It arrives, and you actually get started eating. And you're probably getting on your second plate when Izal and Yandre, well, actually, yeah, probably second plate, and then Caleb and Yandre will return, because they actually didn't really have that far to go. And then you guys will probably be wrapping up, getting closer, maybe looking for dessert before Izal and Volred appear.
Bro, I'm going hard. Do they have boar? They have boar here?
They do have boar as well as stew, bread,
Boar.
roasted vegetables,
Boar.
and it also looks like they have lemon tart for dessert, as well as some jelly-filled cookies, if you prefer that. Like little jelly-filled shortbread cookies.
I'll take the boar, and then I'll order more. Because I'm sure it's not a whole boar. It's like a serving. And then I will, I don't know, just get like 2 pitchers of ale.
Okay. You start the food and
I
booze
start the
flowing.
tab.
Yep. And about this time, like as it's going through, there's a bard in residence who's kind of serenading you guys at this point. Starts off, through the bulk of the lunch area, kind of up pace. But starting to slow down a little bit as your compatriots meet, and you guys are arriving with food already ready for you guys. But you guys can plan the next move if you wish.
Mouthful of ham steak. Award!
How was the guild hall?
It was good. We were able to secure a what is it called here? A petition to keep people from coming after us as we search for relics.
Ooh.
Very good.
Well, at least officially.
No, yeah. We can unofficially do it, and then we can retaliate with extreme aggression.
Prejudice. Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Prejudice?
I mean, yes.
Oh, good. We were on the same wavelength then.
In nobility, one must know prejudice.
And privilege.
And pride.
And prejudice.
And zombies.
I'm not sure that's such a great trait.
Gotta be well learned.
Speaking of privilege, we have the privilege of visiting a temple of the goddess Amada, who hopefully will lead us in the direction of this harp we're looking for. And let me just tell you, this sounds like a very good and relaxing time that we should all revel in.
Caleb, what goddess is the goddess Amada?
Canon would tell you the goddess Amada is the goddess of beauty, healing, and the arts. Basically, she believes in freedom of expression and just wants everyone to have fun, make beautiful things, be beautiful people, and stay well and happy.
She also has the eye for gaudiness, let's say, in terms of architectural design and art. But anyways, this sounds like a good time for us to, get some work done, look at some cool art, visit a spa, and I'm just throwing it out there that it would really be a great bonding time for us to just relax for a moment.
And when do we plan to do this?
Well, hopefully soon. If we must do some other important tasks in the meantime, then we shall. But I would like to get on this hunt for the harp as soon as possible because it means so much to our short-term goals.
Where is this?
Oh, I don't know. Azal has that information.
It's a temple to Amada. I have no idea where it's at, but given its description, it shouldn't be too hard to find.
Are we supposed to do this today or tomorrow?
In a week?
This might take a lot of research while we're there, so we should probably set up like a day solid of reveling in the research.
Yes.
So tomorrow.
Probably tomorrow. Also, we're trying to plan a meetup with Lochran. He's one of the heads of the Historical Society. That way they can go over the sword and make sure it's authentic and ensure that We're not gonna go selling it around just to try to save face with them.
Did the last person who resolved or fixed the curse from it not authenticate the sword?
I mean, he says it's what it is, and I'm sure they had a way of authenticating it, but got nothing really on it while we're here.
But I think it's more for them, just as a personal record type of deal.
And how do we know they're not just going to take it and keep it?
Well,
Because I'm going to hold on to it.
ideas we'll be there with it, and they apparently have a good relationship with the Adventurers Guild, where I'm planning on having the meeting at. So that would be a direct conflict of interest there if they were to just steal it from us.
Okay. And when are we supposed to do this?
Well, Lochran apparently wasn't going to be in till later this evening, so hopefully tonight. If not tonight, we'll try to set up something for. If we're busy tomorrow, then we'll just push it off to another day. But it shouldn't take too much of our time, and it should be relatively uninvasive. So we'll try tonight. If not tonight, 2 days from now, after we have our spa god investigation trip.
Okay.
I believe if we do request the appearance of the goddess, we must fully show her that we're willing to behave in ways in which she would be proud of us. So we must really utilize that day to its fullest relaxation.
I've never seen him so eager for something. Is there some other side motive for this?
I think it's just the
Now there might be. I don't know though.
I would like a break.
That could be it.
We are constantly running from obstacle to obstacle, in which I feel great about myself to then meet a sorceress who killed me, and I would like a moment to decompress.
Well, he died. He died.
Different decompress.
Let's decompose, but it's a moment of rest. Well, it is deep rest, but he did rest.
But not rest of the soul, because the soul just got ejected from his body into the ethereal plane.
I mean,
Then he's confused.
We could use a rest. We just finished up one of our quests that we were working on, so that shouldn't be an issue.
We kind of just saved the world.
Right, for now.
Still, let's not forget we achieved something very important.
Putting it in the memoirs. Save the world. Got wasted the following week.
Great. So we have secured a room, correct? I look over at Kelmec.
Yep.
And now we just wait to go meet this person who is to authenticate the sword.
Lochran?
Lochran.
Yes.
Then from there, we rest until tomorrow, and then we go and visit this goddess, Amato.
Mm-hmm. We don't have to stay.
What's the matter with you?
We don't have to stay here. We just have to. In the event that they become available, I would like us to all meet at the Adventurers Guild. So if you have something you want to do, you can do it. But we just kind of have to have that set up so we can do that. They said they're very flexible and they're willing to accommodate our schedule.
So it's not required. This is just an extra thing that would be nice to do.
The less risk of having someone come and attack us, I'd like to take that safety precaution.
So where are we staying?
Here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. It sounded like we were making plans to not be here because we were threatened of being attacked. So I just wanted to double check.
Oh no, that's in case someone comes to attack us because we have that sword. But this meeting and other things just to try to prevent that. I was saying we can just kind of go out and enjoy the town if you wanted to. It's a planned meeting that might not happen.
So go and have. Well, no, never mind. Food first. Let's eat. And I look over at the table, and Kelmac is like devoured like 5 plates of food, and I'm just like, well,
For some reason, it's all been like uh, ham steaks of boar.
is there any other food remaining for us?
I'm gonna
Volred
start
takes the
trying to.
silence, and are we in the room right now?
No, we're in the staircase.
Yeah,
Oh, we're the.
No, we're in the dining room area.
Okay.
I got ale.
I just reach my fingers up and snap a couple times
why are you snapping?
to get someone to bring us more food.
Is it customary for you to snap to get people to bring you food here?
Nope.
No.
No.
Force a habit.
It nonetheless works, however, as before long, someone comes by to take an additional order and brings another round of food.
So we are to snap to summon people here.
You can.
It's still rude.
Some people will view that as rude at more commonplace establishments.
Yeah. Yandre, your insight is good enough to know that while the person managed to wait on your table with a smile on their face, it was definitely a customer service smile and not a real one. Well, to you guys, he was pleasant enough, but to Volred, he definitely had a bit of a mask.
Bom, bom, bom.
Womp womp.
Volred, I don't think you should do that again. Though you may be very familiar with it, it looks like he was wearing a mask. Well, at least emotionally, when he was talking to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. It seems sometimes you miss a little of those social cues, so I just want to make sure you get them this time.
Thank you.
I'm assuming we'll eat and just kind of. I'm wanting to just kind of see the town because I don't think we've been to Avedon before. We have.
You've been to Avedon, but mostly on just like fly through.
What have we done here?
Nothing. You guys arrived, went to the Adventurers Guild to get information on the dragon, went and handled dragon, came back, turned in dragon, get stuff on necromancer stuff, and left. So basically, you guys have been from the gate to the Adventurers Guild, and that's basically it.
I could have sworn we were here for something else, but you would know best.
No.
Then if the historical people can wait, I'm just gonna go like around.
Calmac,
Yeah.
do you have your sword covered?
We wrapped it in something like a cloth or something as people are you're walking around in public. But I'm assuming as they handed it over to you to show you what the sword looks like, you're going to have to make a conscientious effort to make sure that it's wrapped before you go in public, or else you're just going to just parade around this relic, which is obviously not a good thing, as we have literally just did as much as possible to make it easy to where people don't just come after us for it. So just as a word of recap for you, when you receive the sword, it's wrapped up in fabric to be held that way.
Then I will say, if are none of y'all planning to go anywhere for the rest of the day?
I was going to go to the Adventurers Guild just to confirm the meeting and see if
Okay.
I can reserve a room.
Yandere, you going anywhere?
I don't know much about this town or place, so for me to leave, I would just get lost.
I'm willing to explore.
I can only communicate with you guys with a range of like 100 or so feet. So
So are we all going to the same spot, or shall some of us stay here?
Do we want to meet up back at dinner time
I said
here?
I did try to set up the appointment to be around later this evening. So we could kill a couple hours if you want to do something now. I'm just gonna go ensure that the area is reserved.
Then I will leave it with you, Yandere, so that I do not walk around with it.
Okay.
Since you're not going anywhere, and this is probably the least likely place to be accosted.
Great. Yandere will hand over 100 gold to you. If you can just pick up 2 healing potions for me, that's all I need.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try to find an apothecary or an alchemist.
And which room are we in?
We are in the second floor, east side. Did you say it was like a certain named room?
No, not a particular room. It's just one of the suites.
I will go show you so that I also know exactly which room. But I do know the windows face the courtyard, so that intruders will have a slightly more difficult time.
Great, because I really don't know what east is.
Is it noon? You said it's lunchtime?
Well, it was. It's more like early afternoon now.
Okay, I'm just going to do a
maybe
quick,
2 o'clock.
the sun sets in the west, shadows point that way, and just figure out east.
Sundial. It appears to be north o'clock.
You have to find north in order for the sundial to work. So if he can't find east, that's a problem.
Meh.
I will make sure we all know which room it is. Did she give you 2 keys?
Gave you 2 keys, and she said that since it's a large party, they do keep a spare key specifically for the hotel staff to come in and clean. So if someone who doesn't have a key needed to get in, that was fine. They just request that you make a list of who is actually staying in the room. That way they can verify and not allow someone in that isn't supposed to be in.
Then I will put down everyone's name. And then as people come in, I will make sure that who did Alara say who needs to be made aware? Her or Gareth? Or would just Gareth?
Either one.
Okay. Then I would just, whoever I catch as they're coming in, should be like, this one, that one, that one.
Yep. And you see Gareth kind of make some notes. As you guys are getting ready to leave, Gareth just quickly checks and makes sure that there's nothing that you guys need him to put in the vault before you go.
No?
Okay.
Never trust hotel safes.
So Yandere will go up to the room and at this point relish himself in a nice bath. He hasn't had an opportunity to really bathe in a while, so he's going to do that while everybody's out.
Cool. And you're going to bathe in the room, not in the bathrooms.
Correct.
Yeah, that's fine. Either way, I'm just making sure. Because, your chances of drawing a random encounter in the upstairs bathroom in your room is different than...
It's slim, but it's not 0.
You bring the relic sword into the bathhouse, someone gets a little too close. Is that a long sword, or are you happy to see me?
Both.
You have to measure it to know it's a long sword.
Gotta get close.
No historical value.
Um,
Anyway. But
Yeah.
yes, but similarly to the other room, Yandere, it's got this kind. This one's got like this kind of dark blue, like handmade, hand painted tile. That's slightly uneven. That kind of covers the floor and then halfway up the walls. But yep, sure enough, you're able to get the bath and everything set and just enjoy. Okay, so let's see. What was this? I know someone was going to the Adventurers Guild to notify the Adventurers Society.
He's all.
Me.
Yep.
Make sure
And
we have a
then
room
what was
set
the
up.
rest of you guys doing?
I'm just getting acquainted with Abaddon.
With the city.
I will be making a stop pretty early, probably first thing, to the market area, looking for an alchemist or an apothecary who carries healing potions.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with you.
Cool beans!
Okie dokie. All right. So let's see. Izal, you make your way north through the city and head to the Adventurers Guild. Kind of you're making way in, speaking to one of the clerks, let them know what you need, which they are more than happy to provide you with a room. They schedule an office and then ask whether or not you need them to send word to the Historical Society.
Yeah. If you could let them know that it's set up, that's the room will be located in.
Yep.
Around the time
They
frame.
also ask you whether or not your group requires a legal advocate to be present.
If there's one available, I don't want you to pull someone out of an important meeting or anything.
Okay. Yeah, they said not a worry. It's just since some to advise you of your rights, or if something turns into a legal discussion, then you have someone there to help you out. All right, so that is done. All right, Calum, Volro, not Calum, Kelmac, the buff.
Batman!
Other K. The one who's
Yes,
currently in where Caleb's normally at.
I know. It's just they have a saying, like a piece of advice, whenever you're writing stories, and that is to not have major characters have names that begin with the same letter or sound, so to avoid getting them mixed up in the reader's head.
Tell that to Tolkien.
So, yeah. Well,
If
but
I
you
die,
kind of
I'm naming my next character Karen.
Throw another K on the Barbie.
okay. Well, I'll make a note of that, and I just hope that I remember to veto that.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm
So-
assuming it's relatively easy to find someone to procure healing potions.
Yeah, it's pretty easy, especially in a city of this size, which is a trade hub. So not too difficult. Let's see. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check. Yeah, just go ahead and roll.
Okay. It's a 9.
9 total.
Yes.
Okay.
Did it? Oh, I don't think I have rolled 20 up, so it was like, no virtual tabletop found.
But you managed to find one standard 50 gold piece, per potion. So with 2, 100 gold pieces. So, Yandre's kind of thing done.
I will look for a little personal stall. Someone selling trinkets, handmade little trinkets. That's always nice to find.
Okay. So little handmade trinkets. You find a couple individuals. There is one individual, kind of a young man, somewhat tan skin, kind of short cropped brown hair. He seems to be selling like a different kind of copper, handmade copper tchotchkes. You find an older gentleman that seems to be selling a variety of some quite elaborately carved wood animals and such. Looks like some real skill, some of which have actually been painted. The painting job's okay, but you know. Then you also find someone that is like an older woman who is selling like a bunch of origami figurines with like brightly colored paper and stuff. It kind of goes on and stuff. There's lots of people selling little tchotchkes.
I will get a little wooden. I want to say, what is Caleb's bird? Is it an owl?
Yeah.
Yes,
Squish?
I will. Yeah, squish.
Splish, splish, splish.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Look at Squish Bee.
Cockroach.
Little wooden owl. Um, if Volred's not looking, I will get
I'm not.
Yep. I'll pay for like a little. If she has a little origami crane where like you kind of move the wings or something and it moves the head.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The elegance of that.
Yep. So basically, you can just go through spending
Yeah.
a little bit of time buying little tchotchkes for people.
Something that's significant. Oh, the DM is gone.
He left. He had enough of your shit.
Oh,
Or maybe that's why he left.
I'm just trying to get gifts for people.
Right. Okay, everyone back out of your screen
He can hear us.
and just act like we're not here.
Maybe he's too far.
It'll fool him.
I can see you though.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. We can still see you.
There you go.
Right, you're gone.
Through the power of magic, one of them is going to come back first. Don't say anything.
So we're live on stream. This is a good type of storytelling.
Listen, decisions need to be punished.
Why?
Yeah, he didn't even tell us why he left either.
He said bathroom break.
Oh. Well, then I should probably transition this away, because we're literally not doing anything.
No.
Probably.
We'll take the break now.
Wait, we are?
We'd have to, because for a quick one.
I will walk up to Kelmac and see what he's doing.
Oh no, he spoiled the gift.
He could have just said he hid it.
A Volred
Well,
attacked
no, I don't
Kelmac.
have a. Yeah, he crit me.
Well, you were surprised, so he crit you automatically.
And max stat. That's a lot of damage.
You'd still technically be alive, given the average max
I don't know.
of Volred.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, just roast you guys a little bit.
Roast us.
Burning hands?
Yeah. Fireball.
Fireball.
Yep. So you got your tchotchkes?
Yes. Since Volred is with me, I will give him his little Chotsky origami paper bird crane
Yep.
How do
and
you
show
give
him
it to me?
how. Well, I don't have it in my pack. I'm just kind of carrying them, but just like whenever we start leaving, I'll just like I'll just hey, I got you a little gift, and I'll just kind of show you. I'll daintily just kind of like make it do the little movements. So like, I thought it was neat
Oh wow,
and
it's
precise and elegant.
very, very elegant. What is this?
She said it's called origami, and it's like paper folding to make it look like animals. She said it's a crane. And so if you hold the wings gently and you just kind of very lightly pull them apart and push back together, it makes the head move back and forth.
So I take the origami and, as instructed, just gently pull back on the wings and watch the head bob back and forth. And, Volred lets out a nice little smile. He's a little too of himself to be overly excited about it, but it does seem that he has enjoyed the offering. Thank you, Kelmac. You didn't need to buy me anything, but I appreciate it.
Well, it used to be a little thing whenever we would go through nearby towns to just go through and find like the common peoples with their stalls and buy a little knickknack for your buddies. And I'll just kind of like pull the other things, the little owl, probably like a little prayer, not bead exactly, but it's something like you would fidget with during prayers.
A rosary?
Not exact, because I think a rosary technically defines it as the cross.
It is just fidgeting.
Crucifix.
Yes.
That's the first fidget spinner.
It's a rosary.
Oh, jeez.
Yep. 5 and then a Hail Mary.
Well, Kelmac,
I-
that's a great assortment you have.
How much did that cost me, DM?
We'll say anywhere between 1 to 10 gold, depending on how nice you wanted the tchotchkes to be. For all of it, is what I'm saying. For all of your little tchotchkes.
I will spend 5 gold only because I overpaid. Because I'm not looking for like master craftsman quality. I'm looking for homely quality. Like this person put time and effort into it. Understandably, craftsmen do that as well, but it's the feeling of homeliness.
Quite a nice display of friendship, Kelmac. It will be nice to present these to the rest of the party. While we're out, though, I would like to buy an outfit. Would you like to accompany me?
I can try. I'm not a fashion gourmand. As you've
Gourmet?
seen.
Is that the word?
Gourmand is someone who eats food.
Listen,
I think
I
gourmet
mean,
is actually
unless you
food.
like eating fabric, I don't know.
listen. Felt is very enjoyable licking, okay?
Live your best cat life, man.
It sticks to all the barbs on my tongue. Yes, I'll go with. Though I am
Trust
not
me.
a fashion aficionado.
Trust me, for what I'm looking for, you won't have to be an aficionado. And we will attempt to find a store. Nothing of elegance. Something more thrifty.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh, we're
easy
going
enough.
thrifting? That's where the heat is.
Yeah, you can find a number of old clothes stores. The thrift shops if you're looking for something like that.
Yes, I would like to go into one.
Okay, you looking for anything in particular?
Yes, Vorad is going to find whoever the proprietor of the shop is, introduce himself and say, I'm looking for something that gives a very specific vibe. Something like I'm a farmer, but fits me well. I don't want to look bad. It needs to be farmer. It needs to look poor, but not too poor, but just poor enough for you to get the vibe, if that makes any sense.
You manage to find an old clothes store, a bit more kind of a boutique. Kind of you're making your way in. The woman is wearing simple clothing that appears to have been upcycled into something more fashionable. It definitely looks like she's mixed several old outfits together to get something that looks a lot more unique. But yeah, she comes back and so I see, farmer. Um, so you want to look like a farmer who doesn't farm?
Yes, I want to look like a farmer who took what he had of his normal everyday clothes and spent a little bit of time to make it look more fashionable. It can't be over the top, it still needs to read not of nobility, but someone who's trying to elevate their status.
I see. Well, if you're looking something along that route, we probably want to go with something that has had some creative patching, particularly with some interesting fabrics and perhaps something re-dyed.
You're speaking my language. What do you have?
Very well. Are we still wanting to go with earth tones? Because I think I have something for you. And she kind of brings you back to this area where she's got different kind of clothes that are kind of hanging up. Kind of takes a quick look at your frame and pulls out this kind of cream-colored shirt that has kind of like slightly poofy sleeves, but they've been kind of rolled up, and the kind of cloth kind of tie-ups to keep the sleeves rolled have been replaced with like leather snaps. And then some of like the top areas have been replaced with slightly nicer fabric, something closer to silk. And so there's just, and some of the stitching has been done, and it looks like down on the bottom there's a little bit of like forget exactly what it is, but it's like a little bit of embroidery in it that gives it a little bit of an embroidered trim. Not elegant, but definitely nice. It says farm vibe, but you would never wear it actually farming.
It's perfect. How much do I owe you for this ensemble?
Well, for the complete ensemble, we'll go 5 silver.
You have a deal. Kelmac, is there anything you would like?
I got these neat gloves. And it's reconditioned farmer's gloves that actually fit my hands.
Add that to the tab.
Very well. I can part with them for 3 coppers.
I will pay and give my thanks.
My claws are like barely pointing the tips of the fingers, just ready to cut through. Just
Like
yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
I'm done with my shopping, Kelmac. I don't know about you.
I am too.
Okay.
I think it was a really good idea. I found some neat gloves.
So you guys heading back to the inn, or are you guys gonna try and meet with Izal and stuff up at the guild hall?
The inn, right?
The end, because that's where we said we would meet up.
Okay.
There's something happening in the city, right? There's no event, festival, little
At
thingamajig.
this time, no. Though you do on occasion hear some talkings about while shopping specifically. There are some women in there who are looking at some upcycled dresses at that place, which is the Starweave Silk Thread, is the thrift store that you guys went to.
Write that down. Write that down.
Yeah. Then the woman you spoke to was Aurora Starweave.
Starweave silk threads.
Yes. It is the shop. And you hear them mention needing to buy dresses for something called the Night of Flowers. And there are mentions like, oh, don't worry about it. You still have a week or so. Kind of thing, is they're trying to find the perfect dress. You get the sense it's probably some kind of a romantic holiday.
Star of Flowers, was that it?
The Night of Flowers.
I will go up to one of these people and ask them about the occasion.
Yes, so the women seem somewhat surprised to have you interject, but they basically tell you it is a holy day of the goddess Rael. And basically the Night of Flowers, people dress up and they spend time together. A lot of it's kind of it's a holiday based around like love and relationships, wherein individuals are called to perhaps to purge poison and toxins from their relationships by doing trust exercises, coming clean about lies that they've told one another in the previous year, that sort of thing, with the hopes of getting all of it out in the open, and allowing you to move past it. And it is also said, they say, that any relationships that begin on that particular night, such as like an individual who tells or divulges their secret crushes, becomes blessed by the goddess of love, and their relationship is said to be much harder to break with the goddess's blessing.
Well, that's pretty neat.
Yep, there's lots of dancing, lots of stuff, and then there's always then they'll tell you a story about like someone they know who probably confided about some infidelity, and then rather than being forgiven got kicked out of the house, that sort of thing. Because like not everyone is going to do that. But they do say that if someone, uh, confides and is willing to come clean on stuff, and you're able to forgive them for the sake of your relationship, the goddess blesses you there too. So it's that kind of thing. Yeah, a time to take stock of your relationships, make sure things are set right, and and in a good and start new relationships on the right foot, kind of sort of thing.
Well, that sounds lovely. And hopefully, all you ladies will have someone propose to you or confide in what they may have kept hidden. And hopefully you can have it in yourself to forgive them.
So
Back to the inn.
someone be at the front door.
Someone's at your
so you
front
guys,
door. Solicitors.
At 8:44.
Yeah,
They'll do it.
I mean, and I just got an update from Amazon saying my package was delivered, but my package was delivered like before we started the stream, and I know because I already pulled it in. So now I'm like, I know you're not here to deliver a package,
Oh yeah.
or at
What
least not
kind
the
of
package I thought. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Nothing of historical
But
value.
nothing of historical value. I don't see anyone there, so it's probably just a bug. Fucking grasshoppers.
You want to talk about grasshoppers? You talk about grasshoppers out here, man. Grasshoppers out here, fucking beefy boys.
Yeah, they're pretty huge out here, but that's okay. Some 7 dust handles that.
Man, but I sure am enjoying these 75-degree highs.
You shut your whore mouth. You damn Yankee.
It's so hot up here.
No. Well, we will thank those ladies for telling us about the Night of Flowers and bid them adieu.
Edouard.
Okay. And so you guys return to the Tranquil Haven?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't a question. That was a statement. You returned to the Tranquil Haven.
Is Yandere still in the bath? Is he just like...
I don't know. Yandere got he got some good time for a soak, So
just find him like
I don't
up
know
here
if he
in the water
cares.
asleep.
I also don't know how long you technically were gone, so
We'll say at least an hour, but from them, they probably would have been back in about like an hour and a half.
well, then yeah. I wouldn't be in the bath at that point, but probably just in the room relaxing.
I will give you your rosary, little coppery doodad.
His holy fidget spinner.
This is a gift from me. I thought it looked neat, and it may not be of use to you, but I thought it was a neat gift to get y'all. I gave Volred a little paper origami bird crane.
I pull it out and show.
Oh, this is just a gift?
Yes, just a gift. And I will give Caleb his wooden owl, and maybe for Izal a little necklace with a sword made of copper. Just a little one. I gave it on a little leather strip. I think he's all would appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I do give you your 2 health potions that I did purchase for you.
Cool.
Isal, are we going to be doing the thing?
I let them know to reach out to the historical society that we've reserved that room, and they get in contact with them as soon as possible when they're available. Eric, I would have maybe given them the option of, if they can't get a hold of us, if they have a way of contacting our liaison with the Adventurers Guild, he has a way of directly contacting us. So if they have a way of contacting him, it could daisy chain its way to us, and then we would just be able to follow up.
Okay. But yeah, basically just what I figured is, because it's like roughly 4 p.m. in the day now, I figured that like 6 or 7 or whatever you'd want to do, you'd just have it scheduled to meet up then.
Yeah.
So do it today.
We'll try to do it today as long as they're available.
And I'll just knock on wood, and I'll just knock on, I don't know, the door frame or something. Nothing happens that would prevent us from getting to the meeting.
Well, you can certainly try.
Oh no.
No.
Those are the cursed words. And then Gorbeck fell off a roof. Nearly died. Da, 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 da,
Yeah. I'll armor down and just relax on the bed or something. And maybe if that courtyard has like a sitting area, or they got like just a bench, and just relax. Like Volred was saying, we haven't really relaxed. Like, yes, we've had downtime, but we've always been doing something, trying to get something accomplished. We've never just which is also a new skill for me to try to get because of being in the military.
I like staying busy. But I understand the need for it. So yeah, let's chill and relax. Wait for a cataclysmic event to show up to ruin our day so we can take care of it on a relaxed body.
I mean, if a cataclysmic event shows up to ruin this next spa day, it's really out of our hands at that point. I'm not asking for it, but I'm not going to be mad at either one of you for ruining it.
Okay. What about Caleb? Is he included in that?
Well, if he causes the cataclysmic event, then yes,
Okay.
there's responsibility there. But if such event happens, then we shall have to deal with it nonetheless.
Just relax then.
Okay. But you were gonna do a bit of a quick shopping thing?
Yeah, some meandering around if get the opportunity, since I have time between hand, because I'm all out of weird potions too.
Okay. In which case, go ahead and roll me an investigation check, because I believe you're looking for a place in particular based off Godwin's
Yay.
stuff.
Looking for that mystery grab bag of potions.
I rolled a 7. We just haven't been to this town yet, so I haven't really had any opportunity to delve into my stuff.
Okay.
7's not good.
Yeah. Now you're not able to find the place that Godwin mentioned, but you are able to find some potions and such if you need any of that.
I'm not looking for regular potions, though. I'm
What kind
looking
of
for
potions
the
are you looking for?
ones that can enhance my ability to kill things or be more effective in combat.
I see. I see. Well, okay. I mean, you're able to find an apothecary who has a variety of potions available.
Hello.
What in particular are you looking for?
I bring up some of them in the past, like there was a potion of growth, some giant strength ones that were handy. Really, is any kind of potion that can benefit someone who's well versed in close quarters combat.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you find an individual who seems to carry a stock. He has this kind of really wide glass counter filled with a variety of bottles of different shapes and colors and such.
Ooh.
Um, as you kind of tell him what he needs, he kind of goes, "Ah, yes. I suppose I might have some things I could help you out. Um, was there a particular anything that was highly valued to you? I realize you told me a smattering, a category, a genre, I suppose. But if you had a choice of something that you're saying fits exactly the bill you're looking for,
Well, I've had a potion of stone giant strength or hill giant. I think it's stone giant strength. If you happen to have something like that, a potion of growth was potion of enlarge was also good, and uh, there's like a potion of there's some cool spells that I know that you can mimic the effects of with the potion, like the heroism potion kind of thing. Those are really
indeed, indeed.
the main ones that I've heard of that would really benefit me as far as being more effective.
Of course, of course. I have a variety depending on your price range. Healing potions are particularly sell well, but I also have a variety of antidotes, other such things. Fire breathing, as well as strength potions, as you have already experienced beforehand. Um, so are you thinking something like potions of advantage? Also, in some cases, called minor luck potions. Um, or perhaps something that might give you resistance to some type of damage, or perhaps cause you to grow to an abnormally large size.
The growing one's good. I've had the potion advantage. They they're circumstantial. I find them
Mm,
really to be a 50-50 on when they're even really usable. So I don't really think I have much use for those at the moment. But
very well, which I suppose makes sense, after all. When you can get a potion of Ildried strength, many, I would assume, would consider that a bigger boon than a growth in size. But who knows of that? I do have, well, a potion that sort available if you need the additional strength. Of course, the fire breathing potion is also available. Uh, I also have a very recent addition, one that allows a certain degree of the curing of lycanthropy. I'm not entirely sure if you have magical means of resolving this, but there are some who have had need for it in the past.
I don't have a need for that right now. haven't had gone against any like were creatures. Is that spreads like that can spread between a lycanthrope to another non one? I thought that was just fairy tale.
No.
Ooh.
Any sort of lycanthrope of that kind can pass along its curse as part of a scratch or a bite. Uh, Thankfully, they're not terribly common, particularly in this region, but you never know.
I think I'm good on that for now.
Of course. Well, you are free to peruse and see if there's anything of nature. I do have that potion of heal giant strength, if you think that is useful. Fire breathing, water breathing. Yes, indeed. Something akin to that.
Yeah, I'm interested in the giant strength one, and the fire breathing one might come in handy. How much for both of them?
Well, let's see. Normally, I would sell each of those for 500 gold apiece, but perhaps I could give you, what can I say, a discount. We'll call it 900. If you want to get both, that's a 10% discount.
Yeah, I could swing that.
Excellent. Well, I'll wrap these up for you. Is there anything else I can help you out with?
Not really at the moment. You wouldn't happen to know any fine collectors in the area who are interested in rare items of any kind, other than the Historical Society?
Well, there you have some options, I think, in that regard. It just kind of depends on how useful the object is that you're looking for. If you're looking for something particularly rare or valuable, that does lower the list quite substantially. Do you have an idea about what exactly you're looking for?
I have a little insight that there might be a tuning fork in the area for the elemental plane of wind, of air. So it's piqued my interest if I could find the person who has that.
I believe I do know someone who might have something like that. Um, uh, Assuming you have the coin, um, there is a place down the road if you head a bit farther west. Um, on the backside of the marketplace, in the district, indeed, a place called Twilight Treasures. Um, there is an individual there who might be able to help you out. From what I have heard tale of some other adventurers who have come in, uh, this place is known to carry an eclectic collection, many items of which have to do with the other realms. So perhaps you could find something there.
All right. Well, I'll take that information gladly for it, and I put down 2 platinum bars for payment of this.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. He kind of looks at it and goes, allow me to get your change. And he kind of pulls out, yeah.
Should be 100 in the difference.
Yeah, 100. Yep, 110 platinum. Actually, no, he has to give it to you in 100 gold. He doesn't really carry platinum. That's big boy currency.
I'll slide over 5 gold back for the information.
He takes this. Yes, thank you. If you require anything else, of course, please let me know. The name's Thaddeus Hartwood, and I would greatly appreciate it if you come back and sample some of my wares in the future. I aim, of course, to please I also do commissions if there is something in particular you would like me to craft.
I'll keep that in mind. And I will take the potions and head out. I got Twilight. What was the other part of that name?
That would be, let me check this right quick. Twilight Treasures.
Cool. Alright. Then I will head back to the inn and get ready for the meeting.
Okie dokie. All right. At this point in time, you guys are back at the inn. You guys can get some food or drink beforehand, or wait till afterwards. Whatever you want to do. That does not answer my question.
Get the zoomies.
Relax that inn until it's time for the meeting, and then go to the meeting.
Okay. So, at the appropriate time, you guys depart and head towards the guild hall. You guys are ushered into an upstairs office. Looks like a number of these offices are left open and available for general guild business, meetings, and the like. You guys are brought in and there to given a little bit of space. One of the clerks there kind of introduces you to your clerk, or not your clerk, your advocate. I guess you would need that. Yeah, who's there to just kind of help you guys out.
Hello.
The figure kind of looks you over and goes, "Welcome, welcome. It is my understanding that you require assistance in sort of legal matters."
Depending on the situation, we have some people coming from the Historical Society. Lockgrain's going to be here, hopefully, to go over one of the relics we carry with us and make sure everything is on the up and up. I don't want them to gloss over any information and screw us over in the future.
Of course, of course. The name's Lucius, by the way.
Pleasure to meet you.
Legal advocate and priest of Grav.
Ooh, Grav.
Indeed. So, so that I understand the nature, you are simply needing me to be on retainer and answer any questions that may come up with your discussions with the Historical Society.
Yes.
And just make sure that we, as a private group, are not led awry on conditions made forth.
Of course. I was informed that there isn't an anticipation of any sort of deal to be made, but given certain objects that are in play, it might become necessary.
Yes.
Very well. It seems I have been abridged. And I assume since this is being conducted here on the guild grounds, this is legitimate salvage?
Yes. Found it on a quest for another quest, and this was a happenstance situation.
Very well. Well, in which case, it seems we are entirely ready to go. If you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. I shall not interrupt unless I feel it prudent.
Thank you, then.
Very well. So, after a few more minutes of Lucius just kind of not really milling about, just kind of standing over in the corner, just kind of keeps back straight, neck up. You get and even like his priestly vestments are like a gray suit, relatively nice, but it's kind of tailored a little tight to him. He kind of reminds you definitely of someone who is like prim and proper. Proper nobility is kind of the word, the frame that comes to mind. But after a little bit of time, the door opens, and in walks two individuals. One you recognize, Dorian, and he is walking alongside an individual that you do not recognize. Um, this individual, whom you assume to be Lochran, wears this kind of large brown kind of doublet made of heavy cloth, um, but it's got like wooden toggles. The long kind of sleeves are kind of folded back and have like gold trim around them. You see that he carries kind of a handkerchief in one pocket. There's a little bit of frill on his shirt. And he has this very large kind of black leather belt with a silver belt buckle that's been kind of engraved to look really nice. Um, so he gives you kind of like high-end merchant vibe. But as he kind of comes in, kind of pats Dorian on the back a little bit, looks over to the rest of you guys, takes you in, goes, "Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome. I believe you are the knights, silver knights of the Mythal, yes?
Yes.
That's us.
All right, Lochran Ironbolt." And he kind of comes in and tries to like shake all of your hands with two hands. This guy's like, the it's hard to say. He has this kind of this tall and lean stature with salt and peppered hair, but his hand is a grip. Yeah, handshakes are a thing for him. But he's kind of looking around. Group. Well, it's my understanding you guys found something very interesting traveling through the ruins of Eldamir recently. I hear from Dorian you've agreed to allow us to inspect it, to get an idea of what it looks like and improve the historical record.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'll just, if everything's all right then, I'll bring in the artist and we can start doing more detailed rendering of the piece, and then we can get into negotiations.
Certainly, you can bring in the artist. I will make it quite clear that our intention is to keep it for the time being.
Oh, no. What? Sorry. When I said negotiations, I wasn't talking about trying to retrieve the artifact from you. But as far as any future information or meetups, Dorian tells me that your group is also willing to perhaps take on some work for the guild.
Oh, yes.
I see. Well, I guess we'll get that started and see where the relationship might take us from there. How does that sound?
Let's hope it's a good relationship, certainly.
Of course. And to cement all good relationships, plenty of booze. So, with that, the process gets started as the artist kind of comes in, pulls out the notebook, and it's kind of going through the process of very detailed sort of artistic rendering of the sword, trying to get it as accurate as possible.
Real quick question.
Yeah.
Did Volred trust him when he said that there was nothing afoul?
Yes, yeah. With your passive insight, the guy has a boisterous, rather gregarious personality. You get the sense he's used to being in a room surrounded by people, and is genuinely happy to meet you guys, and doesn't seem he actually doesn't seem like he's that particularly interested in the sword. Almost as if this is just business.
Okay, thank you.
Just another
Okay.
Tuesday night.
Yeah. Which we're going to go ahead and take our break, and then we'll get to the actual discussions and stuff when we get back.
All right. BRB.
See you guys. I feel like I missed that because had I just waited to say that till we came back.
Speaking of
That,
dropping bombs,
no.
Drone.
We're good.
9th level
We're good.
fireball.
Waste.
It's a waste.
upcast chain lightning, way better.
Yes, of course.
Finger of death.
That is a garbage spell.
Negative energy flood.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Circle of Death.
Drain level.
Circle of Death is a 60-foot radius.
I know.
It hits
It's
everything.
well, it's a 9th level spell, man.
Circle of Death, it's like 5th level. It's so good.
No.
Circle of Death,
All right, no, we're not gonna. We'll settle that after this game. It's not part of the roll for recap on Ari's game, so it's fine.
It's a
Oh
Wizard
dear
of
God!
God.
Imagine if I had. You know what? That's a good point. I will never play a wizard in that game because I will not want people. I don't want to have that many spells.
At what level do you get spellcasting? Ah, shit.
No, he'll ask me shit that's on my spell list, and I won't know.
You won't get past the first question. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Anyway, so.
Circle of Death is
Hey
6th
guys,
level.
welcome back. So, after a little bit of time, the guild brings up some wine for you guys to imbibe. And while the artist is all rather quickly, but with great detail, drafting out the sword, not to scale, obviously, but of a scale, it's quite nice. Lochran is kind of coming about the room, just kind of meandering, trying to make time to speak to any and all of you, make everyone feel as though he has spent time with you. Obviously, someone who likes to host. But Lochran just kind of goes, I'm told there's a bit of a story that goes along with the finding of this sword. Mind to share?
I mean, sure. Well, there's a bit of history behind some deep-seated individuals for it, but this came about us investigating an undead curse that was afflicting one of the local small villages in the area. And one thing led to another. You follow the trail of destruction, goes into the ruins, that mountainous area over there, and delve ourselves farther in, pushing, beyond what we should, given the quest requirements. But lo and behold, we found a vampire individual, quite powerful. Put himself in a bad situation, though, between a rock and a bright place, and eventually wasn't quite able to survive. And they had the sword on him. It was a cursed version of it, and I will use minor illusion to create a 8-bit style version
facsimile
of what the sword would look like with its cursed. Like, this thing, I mentioned, hurts like a mother when it hits you, but it looks pretty nice when it's been removed, the curse of it.
Yes, that certainly sounds like that's an interesting story. I wonder if the individual that you managed to take the sword off of was actually its original owner.
Maybe. The person's name, let's scroll up to the person. Caredon?
Kieran.
Didn't get much else
that
from him.
sounds... Well, then it seems indeed you did manage to get it from its original owner. Which is saying something, because that just deepens the mystery.
Well, what happened to him
could
then?
also say. Well, it's hard to know exactly, but from what I understand, Cairden, Sir Cairden, was...
It's formerly known as Caredon.
Yeah, I suppose that would be accurate. Though I can't know for certain that he was an artist.
with a sword. He was quite a masterful artist.
Well, I couldn't say anything about that in particular, but it seems as though you managed to deal with him reasonably well. Anyway, the individual that we're talking about is, from what I understand, was a noble, a valiant knight of the Kingdom of Eldamir named Lord Cairden Blackthorn. Um, from what I am understanding, he was a servant of the ruling house of Eldamir during its time, and a member of the House of Stormcliff, uh, a prominent military family there in the kingdom. Its crest was that of a lion with a eye patch, silver on a field green, I believe. Was it blue? I can't remember for certain. But at any rate, he commanded Eldamir's armies during that particular time when the kingdom fell. No one knows exactly for certain, except that towards the end of Eldamir's existence, Cairden was developed a bit of a reputation for being quite ruthless. And though he managed to lead Eldamir through a number of victories, in the end it wasn't enough to prevent the kingdom of Eldamir from falling. He disappeared after that, as far as I'm aware, along with his sword. We thought it must be lost somewhere in the battlefield and within those mountains, God knows where, but it would have seemed that the reason why we couldn't find it is because, well, I guess he was technically dead, of course, but not buried. So, I suppose, based on what you were talking about, you've becoming a vampire, that answers a few questions.
Hmm. I feel like there's some information here that we could probably try to figure out. Because he clearly didn't die in the fall, or during the, I would say, the official fall. Was there like a grand battle? Is there any known story of him being wounded in like a final battle? Or was he just power hungry and escaped and looked for a means of revenge against those who defeated him?
Well, it was partially believed that he did die, as his army had traveled east into the Silver Mountains to fight off an army of human marauders from one of the early Ashgaran kingdoms before they unified into the Empire. As far as we're aware, is that the army he went to fight eventually made their way through the pass and destroyed Eldamir. Therefore, it was believed that his army met a gruesome end somewhere within the southern reaches of the Silver Mountains. I don't know that anyone has spent any considerable amount of time attempting to track down the actual location of that battle, but perceivably, there somewhere in those mountains is a battlefield filled with an army of corpses.
Well,
Though, hopefully, considering the rumors coming out from that part of the world, hopefully long dead and dirt.
the Silver Mountains are in Ashgar, aren't they?
Yes, the Silver Mountains are the mountains on the western edge of Ashgar that separate Ashgar from Athoria.
Right. It's like I remember the Silver Mountains, so I know they have to not be from this campaign.
Yes, yes. It would have been on the western end in the last campaign, but now it's on the eastern end of the map.
Yeah. We've briefly touched like the edge of that mountain range, but like we haven't gone any farther into it.
This campaign, you haven't really reached there. Last campaign, yeah, you guys kind of skirted along the edge. Like the monastery was there, the dwarven
The
area
dragon.
with the dragon was there.
Okay, so there's no connection from where he was at, where we found him, and that one. So,
Well, other than the fact that you found him in Castle Silverpeak, uh, which is the reigning castle of the Kingdom of Eldamir. So uh, his vassal state and lands would have been in that area. It definitely would have been his home, so to speak.
Probably
But
someplace
where
he's
he's been in the intervening years, centuries, who knows?
assuming he had aligned himself with a not so savory individual. That might have been considered someplace he's familiar with and could be confident enough in defending because he's familiar with the area. Then
I suppose that's possible. I mean, Cairden was, if nothing else, famed during the time for being an excellent military commander. But Eldamir's armies were famously at the time small, but very powerful. They routinely took on forces several times their size, even in open field, and managed to win the day.
must be one hell of a strategist.
During his time, I suppose.
Well, something happened to that brain because he did not make a good decision near the end of that fight.
Well, he lost. And who knows? It's quite possible. I suppose another way of saying it is that if Cairden was indeed the vampire you slew, he spent many centuries longer as a vampire on the run than as a brilliant war general. I suppose he remembered very little of his former life by the time you met him.
Seems like a waste. I mean, if you have all that time, learning from your mistakes would probably be the better option than dwelling on them.
Understood. But who knows exactly? Uh,
We don't really have a really good idea of what might have turned him into a vampire, though, so that is a lingering mystery.
Another vampire?
I mean, we don't know who turned him into a vampire all those years ago.
well,
I'm sorry, I thought you said
well, anything's really possible. Most of those battles took place during the Age of Apostasy in the early days, so demonic cults were all the rage back then. Uh, following the Gods' War. So who knows? Perhaps there could have been some cult members, or perhaps a demon. Who really knows?
Hmm.
So are we? How much longer for verifying this item?
Well, the item's pretty much verified. As far as what I can tell, it matches the historical record, which we're in the process of updating now. I suppose, since there is still a little bit left to go, and you've regaled me with your tale of heroism, certainly one worthy enough to bear the sword, at least for a time, I suppose we should move on to our last bit of business. Yes?
Of course.
All right. So, Dorian over there tells me that you might be interested in doing work from us from time to time. This seems to be especially helpful considering, from what he tells me and from what I can see about you, you're gold adventurers. Yes?
Yes, sir.
We really should be renamed to Gold Knights of the Mythal.
We've already changed the name once. I'm not sure changing it again.
Sure, I'm all about change it to gold. Anything. Just
Sorry,
Gold!
that was a bit of a. Is all. You go back to the negotiations.
as we were saying, yeah, we are interested in helping you in situations. Of course, we are qualified for a lot of things here. Just depends on what you need and if we have the time frame around it. Because there are some personal vendettas that come up that I have to definitely address.
Well, I certainly appreciate that, but It's more so that if we find any kind of credible information that leads us to believe we might know the location of some kind of an artifact or relic or something of that nature, uh, sometimes we'll send out expeditionary troops, ones that can either retrieve the artifact for us or carry some of our historians along to collect whatever it is we need.
Well, we could definitely handle those situations. We're not
Indeed.
the best explorers into ruins, so especially if you have a guide who might know exactly what they're looking for, be beneficial.
Very well. So you're more of the combat-oriented, monster-slaying type group.
Most of us are. It's just we have Calum here, just some very astute, well-learned, can really define and learn situations. He can get distracted though with his own personal stuff, so someone more refined and knows exactly what they're looking for would be a better guide for a situation.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. We all get sidetracked on our own little hobbies, eh?
That's why we're here.
Well, so, let's see. Dorian also tells me that you've taken up the fool's errand of finding the Queen's heart, yes?
I don't know if it's a fool's errand yet. We might pried into it. Maybe we'll get some information. We might not necessarily find it.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
If we can get some information on where the next clue might lead, maybe the next person foolish enough to take on the quest can delve into it.
Well, in my personal experience, when it comes to mythical artifacts of the gods, typically those things aren't very often found. Of course, that's just my opinion, but think about the damn priests of Edoron. They've been searching for Elric's sanctum for, God, better part of 1,000 years, I'd say.
Well, personal experience, I know that, especially if gods have a favorite servant or a particular artifact that they're fond of, unless they want it to be found by a specific kind of person, it's not going to be found.
I suppose that's true. But there have been a number of religious organizations that have looked for these artifacts throughout time. It's hard to imagine any of the gods at least, attempting to refuse the relinquishing of divine artifacts. At the very least, looking over one of their own followers in the favor of someone completely foreign to them and their faith. But I'm not exactly a godly man. I will say the gods make me plenty of money, so I say my little prayer to Hiraka from time to time. But
Well, from my experience as a somewhat religious person, faith can be quite blind to their own negativities. So maybe the gods don't want some of their followers to have access to something that could start a riot, a war, death of thousands. Keeping it hidden from them might be the best option.
well, no argument for me there. After all, some of the things that the Historical Society has seen fit to try and collect are things that, from where I stand, are better off not being found. But far be it for me. I may be the chairman, but I am only one of the chairs.
There's issues of like artifacts that have a sentience of their own. I mean, what you can find it, but you might never be able to retrieve it. And there's stories of like the great Durandal sword that could cleave any item, any material, could slay creatures in a single blow. Lost for years and years and years, appeared briefly, then disappeared again.
There are stories about that all the time, and I can't say anything true. I mean, after all, as they said, Galator had been left a cursed ruin for the better part of 3 or 4 thousand years, and from what I understand, especially within the last couple centuries, the curse is largely lifted. I'm told that elves have even begun to resettle the lands. In either case, I'm not entirely sure, but something made something change.
Sentient artifacts are weird.
Right. But that is, of course, to say that if somehow you do manage to find the Queen's Harp, we would certainly appreciate taking a look at that for the historical record. Though, if I'm terribly honest, considering the importance of that particular figure, that will not be an object that you will want to keep. Not telling you your business, I'm just warning you.
How many targets can you have on your back before you run out of room?
Well, I suppose that depends on how many of them you can carry.
At least 3.
Well, that works for you, but I don't know about the rest of your compatriots. But who knows? You seem competent individuals, after all. You managed to find the sword. So, with regards to the deals moving forward, if we manage to find something we think you're interested in, we'll feel free to reach out with an offer letter, letting you know, providing you as much or as little help as we are able to provide, and if you return those objects, they come directly to us.
Sounds like a pretty sweet deal. Of course, with it being a job, we would of course have the compensation that before we go moving forward into collections of it. But that'll be fine.
Right, of course. After all, with those jobs, everything will have to be done or fed through the Adventurers Guild. After all, they take pretty high offense to us sidelining them. So, wouldn't want to ruin that particular relationship.
We also, the reputation the Adventurers Guild can give us is pretty good too. So.
Alright, well, no argument for me there. Well, looks like we're wrapping up the last here, and we've got some updates for the historical record that we need to do on our end. We'll furnish you with the certificate of authenticity, which is mostly, I suppose, a formality at this point. From what I understand, the Temple of Areva has already matched it against their historical records. So it's basically been doubly verified.
And this won't be one of those sell it for the next best thing kind of thing. Don't worry about that.
Yes, I certainly would hope not. Then again, once all of this stuff gets registered, we will have to send a copy to the prefect. That way, there's a registration of the ownership. If for some reason the sword ends up in someone else's hands or store or merchandise, without it formally being declared as transferred of ownership, well, there's going to be some questions with regards to how exactly that change of hands occurred.
Good.
So, one of the benefits of doing things by the book.
Just keep it all above the table.
Of course. Well, did you have any other questions for me while we're wrapping up?
Anyone else? Chit chat about you?
No. Very well. Well, then we'll go ahead and have this written down. If there's anything that the Society can do for you, feel free to let me or Dorian or anyone at the Society really know. We have a extensive collection of historical records, and we happen to have a network of sages and other lecturers, things of that nature. So if there's anything you require within our particular wheelhouse of expertise, just don't hesitate to ask.
Will do. We'll be in touch.
Right. Well, I suppose we'll leave this to you. And then he kind of goes through and stamps all the paperwork, kind of rolls up the parchment in a leather folio, and kind of hands it off to whoever wants to take it.
I'll take it.
Okay. And you see just very quickly taking a look at it, some certificates of authenticity, signed, dated, and everything.
Alrighty then.
Well, that means we can go back now, right?
Yep, we're all set here.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure meeting you. If there's anything you need again, please don't hesitate. Also, shameless plug, I suppose. I'm not sure if Dorian told you, but I happen to be an auctioneer by trade. So if there is any other merchandise you find on your travels that you'd like to offload, or perhaps something in particular you're looking for, please don't hesitate to let me know, and we'll see if we can work something out. My fees are very agreeable.
Good to know.
Well, I think we've taken up enough of your time. Have a great day.
You as well.
You as well.
Dorian
Echo.
and Lochran leave. After kind of a brief moment, Lucius kind of comes from the periphery of the room, kind of approaching, nodding. So, I suppose my services were not required after all.
So glad to have you around, though, just in case. You wouldn't have
Of course.
have a quick moment to take a look over these the authenticity here, just to be sure there's nothing slipped in there.
Of course, I am held by retainer for the guild, so quite frankly, I get paid whether or not you use my services or not.
Thank you. I'll hand over the certificate, for once.
And he kind of takes it and kind of looks over it. He seems to be scrutinizing every line. You see him kind of holding up
I like this guy.
to the light. Yes, it appears everything is in order. Also looks as though they've got the Temple of Ereva's sign-off. So, a sign-off of a legitimate historical artifact from both the Temple of Ereva as well as the Avedon Historical Society. I believe it is beyond reproach. I would recommend, however, you taking some time to have this filled out in sort of a double to be filed. I understand Lochran said everything would be filed themselves, but in the interim, it might be worth having a copy made. That way, in case for some reason something happens in transit, this is not the only copy.
It's a good idea. How might we go about getting this copied?
In that particular sense, you have a couple options. The Temple of Grav can handle the service, of course. It's something I can actually do for you if you have a little bit of extra time for me to complete the effort. I can file it through the guild here before you depart. Alternatively, if you wish to find a separate advocate and copywriter, notary public, they can handle the necessary transcription.
Well, if it could be handled all in-house, I'd prefer that.
And since you're on
Very well.
retainer, it requires no
Searching.
compensation bartering.
I suppose that is true. One of the many perks of being a gold rank, at least. Anyway, yes, if that is the case, and he kind of sets the papers down, kind of goes and pulls out like this big wooden briefcase, almost kind of looks like an art box, As he kind of opens it up, you see a collection of papers and stamps. Almost kind of looks like a mixture of a forgery and calligraphy kit. Uh, More important, you see a couple iron boxes with keys, like key locks on them. He kind of reaches in, pulls out a little couple, opens them up, and there seems to be like something which looks like color shifting ink and particular stamps. Um, the benefits of like these are legal document type stamps that require some sort of registration for. You see him kind of handling everything, copy of the document, and then up at the top, he writes copy of, and then slides in a back page that basically just fills out saying, copy of original document, reserved, copied on this date, for this purpose, here's the copier stamp, and then, witnesses, and kind of hands everything over to you guys to sign, stamp, 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 and then lets everything kind of dry and goes, very well. We are quite ready, and I will get these documents filed with the guild so that they are as official as possible. Yes.
I have a random question. What are the formal ranks of the guild?
Of course. The formal ranks are copper, silver, gold, platinum, and adamantine.
Adamantine. Platinum and adamantine. So, and look over at these all. I know you mentioned of possibly changing our name to the Gold Knights of Mythal. Are we going to change it every time we go into a different rank?
Nah, I thought about the paperwork involved afterwards, and that's a no. Then I gotta get the sign change, so nah, that ain't gonna happen.
So are we just going to wait until we're adamantine?
That could be the adamantine ANM. That's kind of hard to say.
And
Anum.
we are an party.
Not. We're gonna stick with S&M for now.
Okay, well, just curious. And it's good to know what type of ranks we are moving up through.
We're halfway there.
Yes, as a matter
Wasn't on a prayer.
of statistical facsimile, most adventuring parties lie either in the copper or silver variety. Perhaps only 1 in 4 make it to gold. Platinum is still rare, and I am aware of only 2 adamantine-ranked adventuring parties within the whole of Athoria. But once you reach that point, you are largely taken out of the public eye, as the guild jealously guards your existence.
I'm sure personal, private, contracts only.
Those appearance fees,
Indeed.
store
I
openings.
would warn you also, however, that in case it has not been explained to you, there may come a time, now that you reach this particular rank, where the guild might call you on mandatory quests for the sake of the guild. It
To
will
save
happen.
face or garner favor, I'm sure.
Well, also as it becomes part of the requirements for continuing on so much mandatory questing in order to remain in good standing. It happens, I would actually say, quite a little bit now that you're gold rank. But obviously, the higher rank you are, the more dangerous your mandatory quests. However, I should also say that by the covenants of the guild, you are only required to partake in 1 such mandatory quest within a calendar year. Beyond such, you may take them or refuse them. Your choice. However, by also the covenants, if you do complete a mandatory quest for the guild, it does count extra towards your advancement.
Extra credit. I love that stuff.
Bonus XP weekend.
But for now,
But-
we need to go relax.
Of course. Would you like me to refer you to any particular individual locations, or do you have something in mind?
Oh, Volred's got a whole day planned now.
I do.
Well, most people who want a fair bit of relaxing travel to the Temple of Amata. It is quite a wonderful place. I myself spend at least, a day there every fortnight or so.
Where is the temple?
The Temple of Amata, well, most people would assume it lies within the Temple Ward, but that's actually not true. It lies up in the Noble Ward. Though near the entry to the Noble Ward, so that individuals who travel there aren't, well, they don't affect the scenery so much. But it is
Or
quite
mingle.
beautiful. It is quite beautiful, surrounded by a number of luxury shops. Basically, if you head to the market square, and then head just a little bit farther northeast from there, you should find it quite easily. The temple itself has wonderful architecture and offers classes regarding painting. It has a hospital there, which is also known to be top-notch. And, well, its bathing and spa facilities are second to none. Although I suppose other than perhaps the Temple of Amata in the capital.
Travel destinations.
Well, I'm sold.
I hope so. That was our plan tomorrow.
I am more sold.
Good. So change of plans. Somewhere else.
Seems then you've already found the most opportune place. Well then, hopefully you enjoy your day of respite tomorrow, and if you require anything else, feel free to let me know. You can contact me through the guild.
Thank you, Mr. Lucius.
Very well. Have a wonderful day.
Take our leave.
Take your stuff and depart.
We also leave. So it's the same way. It's kind of awkward. Like, oh, we're
Yeah, it's a little awkward. Well, you guys are heading down. He's heading to a different part of the guild to go file your paperwork.
Okay.
He's like, yay, paperwork!
I know the feeling. Let's head back to the inn and have a conversation on the stairwell.
Where everybody can hear us.
Oh, they wouldn't dare. So how was your guys' day?
I took a really nice bath.
Are we actually in the stairwell? Or are we in the room?
We're in the
I
room.
like
Up
to
to you
think
guys.
the conversation starts at the stairwell, but then we go to the room in the process. Sometimes we get heated, though we stop there.
Yeah, God forbid you guys finally go to a place where you can get a 2-story hotel room, and then you guys basically spend the entire time on the staircase.
Well, once we get back to the room, I will mention that I went shopping earlier and bought myself a new outfit. Let me show you. And I kind of run off into if there's a little private part of the room to change.
There
And
is a bathroom.
I run into the bathroom, and without context, I come out wearing this outfit, which is described earlier as sort of farm chic. It's very much like a farmer took what he had as working clothes and tailored it in a way to make it look more impressive, but at the same
Sunday
time
best.
Sunday best, but still being farm-esque. It's not impressive at all. So realistically, you think Volra is oh, I bought a new outfit, and you're expecting
Here comes 20 gold.
Sunday best at a Barnhouse church.
yeah. So I walk out wearing this outfit.
I need a color palette.
It's cream color.
Cream color. There are little patches of light blue in it. Not much. Very accessory wise. Just sort of a little bit of blue. I think as Eric described it earlier, it's kind of patchy in a way. So you do get sort of, the creams, the light browns would be your top 2 colors, with beige as your third, and then like the fourth and fifth color would be the light blue, and then more of a darker brown. So it does give a variety of like light to dark, but it is more so in the middle.
So giving very earth tones with a pop of blue color.
Yeah, light blue, nothing spectacular, not like Easter pastel. Sort of a little lighter than a royal blue, but not like baby blue.
So like
Somewhere
close
in
to
between.
denim. We're talking like denim blue.
Yeah, I think that would be a good description. It's not denim, but it shows as like denim blue.
Got it.
There's a lot going on here.
So this is the new outfit for you then today.
Well, do you like it?
I have 2 thumbs up.
Is it customary to put 2 thumbs up when you are still questionable of the actual action?
This is approval. So if you're kind of like, you like hands, palms up, like, who knows?
I appreciate the honesty, Andre. I find this not very flattering, which was the point of the purchase.
I think it looks really good.
I just curious on the necessity of this outfit. Is there a particular reason why you purchased it?
Yes. So, first off, though, Kelmac, that your response speaks volumes. Anyways, I've given it some thought, and since I have given up the mask of being Volred and still keep the name, I still find myself wanting to not be Darelove. So I'm deciding to, well, use my ability of becoming someone else when needed as a sort of disguise. So I have thought about it, and when needed, and I don't want to be Volred Darelove in this known area, I can always become another persona. Wink, wink, Eric. Wink, wink.
What's the use of
Yeah, I got it.
that 9th level ability that no one uses?
Yes.
So this person's name is what?
Well, I had to think of something kind of not noble and something that would be laughable, because I want to give the appearance of a traveler who is attempting to start a career telling jokes from tavern to tavern.
Okay, and what is their name?
Well, I at least think jokes about alcohol are hilarious, and I wanted something lowbrow, and I thought about it when I coughed a little bit earlier and had to spit up some phlegm, so I thought my name will be Spitney Beers.
Spitney?
Spitney Beers. And there's a reason. It is a terrible name. I was adopted by human parents by More Beers and Moira Beers. I lived in Alder's Mill, where, if you remember, that was the town where practically everyone died. So I have a great cover story.
Alder's Mill is the place where people were dying. Blackthorn Hollow was the one where everyone died and became zombies.
Updating notes.
Blackthorn Hollow,
Yeah.
then.
Yes, Alder's Mill was the place you guys went to first. That was the quest start spot.
There's just a slow, like,
Continue on.
the look of dismay is just slowly overcoming
I'm
Calmac.
loving
Who
this.
just
Is always just loving this. Yeah.
Yandere is just straight tone the whole way.
I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I kind of
Yep,
get it.
he
Like,
thinks
you wanna
all
get
of
rid
this is
Borat,
whatnot.
it's a thing.
Sees
And it's
nothing
like,
wrong with
All
this.
three emotions.
Spitney had a tragic life. His parents, though they adopted him, were not fond of him because he couldn't keep in the farming life. He was absolutely terrible and therefore has no farming skills whatsoever if anyone tries to press him for material on his farming resume. That led to, well, abuse from his parents, shunning from the city. With a name like Spitney, people just made fun of him, and as someone who has been made fun of, he turned to humor. After everyone in the town died, a group of adventurers had come by and helped take him here to Avedon, where he is starting a new life, trying to use his, well, his sad life and the jokes he developed as a way of traveling and getting to know new life while making some money as a performer. Would you like to hear a joke?
Yes.
Why couldn't the dragonborn barbarian enter a rage?
I don't
Why?
know.
He had erectile dysfunction.
oh my goodness, I need a beer.
Why are dwarfs such good stoneworkers?
I leave the room.
Because they never take anything for granted.
Ah! Coming from the hallway.
You see, I bought
Got
a
'em.
joke book shortly ago while trying to deal with my own inner demons and realized that the comedy in this book gave me a sense of happiness. And I can use this cover as also a way to stay enlightened when I can't have spa nights every fortnight, as our dear lawyer friend rubbed in my face.
I mean,
He said at least once a fortnight.
we could probably have spot nights once a fortnight.
I've been trying and asking for us to slow down, but circumstance say no.
I blame Caleb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, that's just a little something.
I have a question. There is my hand.
Yes.
Does Spitney also have the same face as you?
I haven't gotten that far. I probably shouldn't.
Because you have, like, the hat thing you could do. If you want to do a physical disguise of, like, an outfit, that way you don't have to worry about magic, but then, like, have the hat do, like, a mole or something, it'd be less likely to be discovered, I think.
I agree.
Something that
'cause
can
I've
be
been-
physically manufactured with, like, a disguise kit or something.
Perhaps. I'm not intending on using this immediately because I do think there are some details that need to be fully worked out. But I wanted to showcase this option.
It is an interesting getup.
I mean, would you not expect someone wearing this to be named Spitney Beers?
I would expect someone wearing that to be probably confused about why they're in this town.
Exactly.
Good. Glad we got the whole thing covered. We could roleplay a bit. Like I could ask you a question about Spitney. You could answer the question about Spitney and see what kind of feels natural to you.
Sure.
We role play our way through that if you want.
Yes.
I mean, Yandere could probably pick that thing apart though.
I mean, I'm not intending to pick anything apart at this point. It sounds like he is just coming up with this character, and it might take a little bit longer for him to really have an idea of who this person is and how to personify them.
Is Spitney also an elf?
Spitney is an elf of unknown birth origin, probably dropped off in a manger somewhere in the Blackthorn Hollow. Maybe he cried too much, we really don't know. Maybe his parents were killed. Maybe his parents were assassinated. Maybe his parents were nobility who didn't want a son who would kill a bunch of orphans. Who should know?
I feel like
Sounds like you have a lot to work on.
Well, that's still the birth,
The mystery
which
of
he
Spitney.
doesn't know. Spitney doesn't know, and that's why his life was terrible.
Well, is Spitney a wood elf? A high elf? I would imagine Spitney is not a drow.
He has big wood and likes to get high.
So a wood elf.
Sure,
That's very wood elfy.
wood elf. Great feedback.
Makes sense because the Blackwood place is like in like a forested area. So, okay.
So there you go. You now know what type of elf you need to be.
Perfect.
Do you have any hobbies, Spitney, other than comedy?
Whittling wood. Just sitting there with a knife, creating figurines that represent candles, cylinders,
Just the stick that's been carved.
glassware with very shallow basins.
All right. Is this something that you can actually do, Volred, or is it like a...
Well, it must be very easy to take a stick and turn it into a cylinder.
You're just kind of carving it down at that point.
He's very passionate about it.
He loves his... I bet Spitney loves his whittling.
Ah, whittling, that's the word.
You could write that down for your notes for when someone asks Spitney.
Oh, I am.
Does Spitney have a favorite kind of
Oh,
drink?
he has a tagline.
Oh, okay.
Witticisms.
The juice of the grape, but not fermented. He thinks it's wine, but it's really just grape juice.
Oh, okay. So he just likes grape juice.
Virgin wine.
He knows that it's not real wine, but he wants to be sophisticated because that was one of his only ways of, feeling of higher class is pouring grape juice into his improperly whittled
Very shallow.
wooden glassware that would be a normal mug size, but only contain roughly like a shot worth of liquid.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing where it's like, yes, debonair.
All done. Ah.
What an excellent vintage.
He wanted to play local sport, but didn't have the
God.
coordination based upon his terrible farming skills. So he would stand on the sideline and essentially be the cheerleader for everyone playing.
Did that local sport...
Crit mix,
like,
we need art.
that sport have like a name? Was there a team name?
Oh, well, sure, the Blackthorn Hollow Haters, because everyone in the town hated their
The
lives.
old Hollow Haters. Yeah, I remember them fondly.
Yes, they played every sport of known notoriety in the area.
Gnome ball.
Gnome Ball, great.
Man, that's a dangerous sport. I mean, you can only get so many gnome volunteers to be the ball.
Yes, he didn't quite like the barbarianous aspect of kicking a gnome, but either way, he cheered for every time the gnome got kicked.
DeAndre, do you have any questions for Spitney?
Out of character, I don't think I could do this.
Oh, I can.
I know you can.
Good
I'm just
stuff.
like, it's good. This needs to be a summer Yandere conversation and not a spring Yandere conversation.
Yep. Just bring Yandre. Just got the.
Kalmek just flat out left. He's like, I'm not doing this. He's gone.
He's like, I'm not drunk enough for this conversation.
Does Spitney have a favorite? Does Spitney have any friends from when he was young?
Well, Jack and Jill were quite kind to him. Those were the stick figures that he whittled for himself. He would sit them on his bed and read stories to them, well, as a child, only limited vocabulary, so basically the same 10 words over until at least he got to his teenage ish age. Um, yeah, he learned to read after his parents died, which died in an attack of bears.
Oh, forest bears. It's very aggressive.
Yep, those bears just wanted the carrots, and which is really weird because a lot of the bears don't really go for the carrots, but for some reason there must have been some weird sort of thing in the air. Perhaps a rogue wizard put a spell on bears that summer, and he tried to save him, but he realized quickly that his cheerleading moves wouldn't be ample combat.
I think you might have delved too far into his backstory. That might be a dead spot.
Like his parents, got it. Well, we can work on the details.
That's why we're doing this roleplay thing. The back and forth, get the stuff hammered out for you. That way you don't get interrogated and slip up.
Oh, for sure.
Are you going to wear that all night?
Oh, absolutely not.
It does look kind of weird on you. Without
It looks extremely weird, and the fact that Kalmak and Yandre kind of gave me positive praise is a little concerning. But thank you for being polite.
because I imagine you as Volred, so I see Volred wearing that right now, and it's throwing me off. If it was
Did I give positive praise?
Well, that was me.
Oh no, that was Azal.
I think it looks good. It just looks weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly someone who's trying to fit in as a performer, wouldn't you say? Performers tend to want to look different than the normal
It
person.
does have that casual wear uniform style to it.
You know who would be a good judge of character for this character?
Who?
Caleb. Caleb has performed before, and he's apparently getting really good at it.
Oh, that's weird. Where's Caleb? Did he slip out of the room to look into dinner plans?
Oh, he's probably doing another ritual. We should probably check on him.
We should immediately stop him. Is what we should do.
He's doing another ritual already?
Kelmac, where you is?
I went down to one. I'm not drunk enough for that shit.
Okay, so you're
Two.
heading to the feast hall?
It is dinner time, and I am probably. Is there a dining table up in the suites? Or
Yeah, there. Yeah, so the suites has like an eating area and a living room area that is shared amongst the two bedrooms.
then I'll just like stop by the bar and like get a veggie meat combo plate thing.
Yeah, but you spot
like-
Caleb there, like over in the corner, with a half-eaten bowl of food that is now very much cold, as he's just scribbling in his tome.
I'll inquire what he's writing about and tell him I'm gonna bring food upstairs.
Tell him about Spitney.
Okay. Well, he'll just tell you he's working. He got a new spell a little whiles back, and he's trying to come up with some ways to make it work.
Well, just don't teleport us randomly again.
Not that kind of spell.
Don't make me grow like a third arm or something. Actually,
That
make
could be
these all grow a third arm.
That'd be so handy.
Bro, I'm about to leave this call, man.
Easy pun.
I can't take it.
It's been 2 years, dude. Suck it up.
Yeah.
Has it been 2 years?
Yeah.
No, it's just like general foodstuffs. I know Yandere doesn't eat meat.
He never said that.
I'm just unsure, questioning
You should go back upstairs and
Yandere's.
ask him.
Do. Yandere, do you eat meat? I don't remember.
Yes.
Okay. Do.
Can you close the door?
Sorry. And I'll jiggle the handle after I close it.
You hear like the scuffling of furniture behind you.
No, Yandere, I'm coming back to the food.
Oh, like
Do.
I guess okay. And Yandere shuffles the furniture back again.
Just like, I don't know, like a good amount of food, and let's do like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 pitchers or whatever the equivalent quantity would be of ale. I guess a bottle of some more expensive wine.
I don't think Spitney likes wine.
It's not
You know what?
Spitney right now.
I know what Spitney likes. Spitney likes moonshine. Spitney likes pale ale. That's what Spitney likes.
Could you get some of that? Hell yeah, let's go. I need some new
Uh,
magic powers.
I'm just looking at bartenders like a little bit of that stuff from that stuff they make in the bailouts.
You hear this area?
Asking
Yeah,
for
but
things.
as you inquire, he just kind of looks at it and goes, "This is a respectable establishment, mate."
Well, I understand it's respectable, but I mean, like,
We don't carry that spirit here.
it's just like in the more. Can you point me where? Someone would.
You hook us up with drugs.
You'll need to find yourself an alchemist who specializes in magical spirits.
I might know a guy.
Fucking what time is it? Fucking sun's about to go down. They're all probably closed. Ah, fuck.
Oh.
Do you know somebody?
It would not be wise of me to say.
Cool.
Maybe just like take. I'll take like 3 gold and just a tip for you, buddy. As I wait for all the food and drinks I've ordered.
It's a long wink.
He's kind of goes, if I were to give you some recommendation and something were to happen to you with your party members, that would get back to me, and that would not be very good for my employment here.
20 gold.
Well, who's to say I could remember who told me?
Apologies, sir.
Maybe
You'll, for the drinks and food, and for the other booze, your total comes to 25 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll just put 22 more down.
22.
I'll take it back to the room. I'll try to get Caleb to come. He's being a little bookworm.
Okay.
Less fast steps coming up the stairs this time. More do. Open the door.
It's locked.
My hands are full. Can you please open the door?
Are you asking me to open the door?
Yeah.
Do you knock on the door? This is a big suite.
Do a flip. Oh, I almost got it. All right. Let me get the blanket in the position.
Like, how are you indicating you're at the door?
I'm shouting like at the door. Just,
Oh,
can someone unlock the door?
oh, someone's at the door. Everyone, hide.
It's not someone. It's me. Open the door. It's Kelmac. Open the door, please.
I opened the door.
Thank you.
I jiggled the handle first.
Oh, okay. I'll just kind of like, do you open it all the way? Do you just like start opening it and it's like
He opens the door.
I crack the door open.
It slams it immediately.
as I'm like coming through.
I
No.
hit the backside. I hit your ass as I close the door.
So there's a lot of ass. Okay. I bring
Hey, Calmac.
food and drinks.
What's up, Calmac? Ooh,
Hello. All right. I tried asking the bartender here does not carry fancy dwarf stuff. I was just like, look at he's all,
What do you mean?
and look at Volred.
Dwarf stuff. What do you mean?
The Bale stuff. He's
Dwarves-
saying
dwarves
we need to
don't-
find.
Dwarves don't
I
make
thought-
pale
I thought-
ale. No.
I thought dwarves
No.
out of character. I thought dwarves made Bale ale.
No. It's an elvish thing. It's a fey elvish
Oh, okay. Because it's so weird.
thing.
Yeah.
Dwarves, for the most part, we don't go near that stuff. I, for one, think it's pretty cool.
Wait, does Jandre know of Bale Ale? Or is it more
Nope.
is it done by like another name? Because they said a Fey elf kind of stuff. Like, is it something that
Sorry.
I, as Izal, describe it as a fey thing because of how it affects you in a weird ass way. So that's Izal's understanding. Dwarves, from our understanding, is like it is a weird alcohol.
Oh, so anything that's weird just has to be Fey?
Fey's weird.
That's slightly racist.
Hey,
I'm just gonna. I don't know what about it is racist, but I'm going to leave it there on the table for right now. And
You
we'll have a
racist.
discussion.
Spitney probably hates the Fae. I'll remember that. Thank you,
Write that
Yandre.
down. He just made a racist farmer.
Oh
You're an
god.
elf. Like, how are you gonna hate the Fey? You're an elf.
He was raised by human parents that only taught him 10 words.
He's Uncle Ruckus.
Oh.
He's got like 10 jobs.
Oh god. Okay.
You know what?
Uncle Ruckus.
Fuck you and everybody within your house.
Wait.
Don't.
Do
Oh, he's
not
posting Uncle Ruckus.
Do not do it.
Oh no.
He's got vitiligo. It's a private Discord for a reason.
Oh goodness. No. I, the player, was not. I had only ever heard like how Pale Ale works. I had never told like who it's made by
So you assumed it was dwarves.
because it's alcohol.
It's a fair assumption, but I will inform you that I know it's not dwarves. And I also proceed to say elvish and then fey because I think it's weird. So my own stupidity there.
Oh no. Oh no, I think our Yandere broke.
The-
Oh no.
Say it.
I'm just saying, don't look up gifs of Uncle Ruckus They're not appropriate at all.
Assuming I haven't seen all of Boondocks.
No scene involving
Oh,
Uncle
is that
Ruckus.
who that's from? Okay.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
uh,
That's old school.
2008s.
Yeah.
So you're saying they don't have Bale Ale?
They do not
Well,
carry that because this is a respectable establishment.
hmm.
Now, he did say if someone did want to find pale ale, they would have to find an alchemist who specializes in alcohols. Now, when I said, oh, well, it is late, so they're probably closed, he did not deny that there may be someone who operates maybe a speakeasy of sorts.
Well, if you're operating with Bale Ale, I'm assuming you've got some kind of after-hours organization going on.
Bro, I just figured if we really wanted to relax, that may be a possible venture, but it could cause more stress.
Well, tomorrow we're relaxing, so
Do we
we'll
want
hold
to?
off. We'll hold
Okay.
off on the hallucinogenic alcohol
Okay.
unless we happen to come across it randomly walking through town at alchemist shops.
Why are you attempting to drink Bale Ale again?
Because I can do this and I do minor illusion. Ooh.
Are you trying to upgrade that to a major illusion?
I mean, Caleb got kind of ripped from it and I got magic powers. I imagine it's a bad circumstance going into it, but I mean,
I think I heard someone got like teleported across the continent,
see, that's where the
and
weird face shit happens. Because, like, how can alcohol teleport you?
he made himself a new persona.
Some good shit.
We eat, drink.
Yeah.
I'm
You
not
got
sure if
any
anyone
more?
else has any.
Got any more weird names down the pipeline, Volred?
Please don't.
Not at this time.
All right. Tomorrow we relax. I'm ready for it. Can't do too much relaxing. Have you ever relaxed for too long and you get kind of antsy and you want to go do something dangerous for yourself?
Sounds like my childhood.
Well, as long as we're not sitting in place for too long.
It's just but a day.
All right.
I think we can concede a day.
Little do they know that Volred went online and bought a 3-day spa package.
Groupon.
What is the D&D equivalent of Groupon?
A business that's really desperate.
Okay.
Probably not a temple to a popular temple to a god.
Baelathor buys.
Ooh.
Deity discount.
Let's go to
What is it?
Verbo.
Not kayak, but canoe.
Canoe. Yurt.
Goblin. Okay.
Fuck, I'm trying to think of Travelocity. Oh,
Escapades.
Ruber Eats.
Like Ranger each. Are we really just coming up with side businesses for? Okay.
Yes.
Well,
We
Yeah.
love to do it.
Volred reveals that his entire storyline is to get you together in this situation to introduce you to this very great product, which is a
The
box of
timeshare.
knives.
Oh shit.
The
It's,
box of
multi-level
what?
marketing.
A box of knives.
Oh no!
Hey, those
Trouble.
Cutco knives are pretty good, though.
He needs us to invest into a timeshare.
Anyway,
Take a
we
moment
are
of our
going.
time.
We're
You got
going
involved
now.
in
We're
this
going
thing called
completely
a
off track.
pyramid scheme.
So, this, I think everyone gets a taste of the kind of shit that you guys talk about whenever you guys
Hear
have
me
nothing else
out.
better to do.
It's my fault.
He does have property on a distant island that he has exclusive rights to that he could sell weekends to. So
I'm actually a prince emailing you now. I need a sum of 4,500 platinum, and I'm willing to return it within a day and give you 10,000 back. I just need your routing number and your account information.
send us your sending stone.
You're sending stone description.
Shit.
Yeah. If
Oh
only
my
Bullred wasn't actually a
God.
prince.
Please
That's what makes it better.
email with family stamp.
Just need your social security number.
Your signet ring account.
Anyway, so anything else you guys want to try and do before you attempt a long rest?
Backflip.
I'm done.
No, I want to see these all backflip. Do a backflip.
I have to back above a table. Is that acrobatics? Acrobatics. 5. I
Basically, just kind of does the jump thing and then boom, just lands on the back.
Ah.
After a few minutes, one of the maids comes and concierge is like, "Are you okay? We heard about a loud bang. Just
We're
making
good.
sure that everyone's okay here. All right,
We're good.
Slipped on some water. It's fine. Ow.
You good?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm fine. Oh.
Okay,
Okay.
can't do that here.
So, you guys head to bed, and then awake the following morning after completing a long rest.
Who gets up first on the spa day?
Well, technically, Yandere and Volred never went to bed. But as far as who got up, I would say Izal sleeps like a rock, but the truth is Izal's always an early riser.
I got hit in the face with a morning star, so I typically wake
Light
up fully
sleeper.
prepared. Who the hell hit me?
Yep.
Why does my back hurt? Oh yeah.
My shoulders just bruised to shit. I'm like, ah.
Not a swinging arm. Oh wait, I'm amphibious.
I can use my left and my right hand. Calmac, when did you wake up?
I've been awake.
What time is it? Look at my sundial watch. It's too early for North. Where's North? Where is it?
I'll just stick my head out the window and just like, I think it's that way.
Fuck. Go to the window and stick it out. Like, shit, it's like almost 10:30.
You're just
Are Volred and Yonder just hanging out in the main sitting area?
10:30.
No, I think at this point, after hearing
They
some
had
noise, the door would open and you see Autumn Yandere walk in, carrying like a tray of meats and stuff. Ah, friends, and imagine you would want some breakfast.
Have I?
Adam Yandere!
Hello.
Out of
Fair
character.
enough.
Have I met Autumn Yonder?
I think this is the second time you guys have met Autumn Yonder.
And
Oh,
you might not
okay.
have been here for it.
I
Yeah.
don't remember anything about Autumn Yonder.
Autumn Yandere.
That's Sev. Or what was his name again?
Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste. I love all Yandres, so it doesn't matter who shows up. I just like it when he changes. It's like, ooh,
A new thing.
it's like a visitor from an old friend. Oh, Yandere.
I mean, I could take it back. Would you want me to?
Oh, no. My shoulder.
Please. We need food.
Why does your shoulder hurt?
Got to do a backflip.
Last thing I remember, I was about to do a sick trick last night, and then I woke up this morning.
So you incapacitated yourself.
Not entirely. No.
I mean, I blacked out a little bit from it, but I don't think it was the injury. I was probably drinking that
On purpose?
I mean, the flip was probably on purpose.
Getting hurt was not on the menu.
Well, it's a good thing we're going to a spa then.
Yeah, spa day. Woo.
/ Temple of Healing.
Yay,
Even
spa
better.
day.
Where's Spitney?
Spit me?
Oh. I look around for Yandre. Or Volred.
I'm just chilling in the corner, watching all y'all.
Are you wearing Spitney outfit or regular outfit?
Regular outfit. We're not ready to introduce Spitney to the public yet.
We're not ready
Nice.
for Spitney.
He's Volred today.
I thought we discussed last night that I still needed to workshop some details.
I know, but like, Fall Yandre hasn't seen Spitney, and like, oh, that would have been so. It got introduced all kinds of new things too.
And you see Autumn Yandere like looking over his shoulder and just like, ah. So it is a creation for. Oh, okay. Spit me? It was his choice. Oh, it came with an outfit. Where is the outfit? Oh, he's not wearing. Oh, okay.
But do I want to see the outfit?
And then, like, Autumn Yandere walks over to Volred and it's just like, just know, whoever you decide you want to be today, I am here for you. And I know sometimes in drama we all need help. So if you need anybody to talk to, I will be happy to talk to you.
In a very much like Severus Snape sort of like reaction, it's received by a thank you.
Ah, you're welcome. Yeah, breakfast, bacon, maybe.
Take a piece.
Pocket bacon.
I did not bring any libations. I didn't have enough hands, really. But is any other food for anybody else before we go out on a spa day?
Yay!
I'll grab some
Thank you,
food if
Yandere.
there's some left over. Thank you.
Thank you, Celeste.
It is weird for them to know my actual name. Did you tell them my name? And then, like, you just see him, like, literally nodding over there. It's like, oh, so there was a whole spear. Oh, okay. Well, okay.
So I can call you Yandere if we want to go Yandere. I just
Celeste is fine.
okay. Today's gonna be so fun.
So, I assume we are waiting for transportation, or how are we getting to the temple?
I don't know where the temple is.
Were you not listening yesterday? Usually you listen very well, is all.
Oh shit! It's at the entrance to the upper district.
In the noble area.
Yeah,
Just past the market.
nursing a shoulder injury.
So it'll be a journey. We are going to walk for a little bit.
Meander, a saunter, a jaunt.
Mosey.
Ooh, mosey. Yeah.
Well, that is great. That means Volred can tell me about these Spitney beers.
Yes.
But why do they spit the beer?
They
Particularly on the knee. Why are they spitting on the knee?
We don't spit on the floor. That's just rude.
Yes, his adoptive parents were far uneducated and happened to name me after months of trying to figure out a suitable name. For the longest time, it was difficult for me to hold any liquid that I was fed, and I would spit it up on my knee, and depending on how they were holding me, their knees. So they named me Spitney.
And they fed you beers, or was their last name beer?
Oh, absolutely. Who would give an infant alcohol? Probably my parents. Beers is a family name.
Ah, okay. That makes sense, I guess. And you can tell me more about the Spitney beers on the jaunt to the temple.
Yes.
A mosey.
Okay. So you guys depart, heading up to the Noble Ward, and we're gonna call it there tonight, and we'll see what kind of a wonderful spa day you guys have next session.
Kilmore's gonna come back like, what the fuck?
What the
what the
hell
fuck
happened
is
here?
Spitney beers? What the fuck is going on?
We got
He's
Fall
gonna be so
Yonder.
happy he missed all of that.
That was so good. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so happy.
Racist against a Fae.
We're not,
Is
we're not
Fae-
making that canon yet. He has to make that decision, but we are not making that canon yet.
That's gonna be a strong talk with Summer Yandere.
Jim Fay are taking all our magic.
Oh,
That's not good.
so
Summer
not
Andre is just gonna like exist there just for a second.
It's not
Just to be like,
just
you
Summer
quit that
Yandere.
shit
The
right
The
now.
Yandere that's going to have an issue with that is actually going to be Spring Yandere, because he is the only actual Fae in the whole caravan of things that are happening right now.
Oh, are they all just like human or other souls?
They're spirits, and then Spring Yandere is the host
Is Yandere
from the Fae. Yes.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole. They all have names too.
Reggie
Reggie is Winter Yandere.
Reggie Sev Celeste?
Yeah. I like Reggie.
Locked up like a colander.
I was about to say, hold on, it's not Sev, it's Sal.
Sal? Oh.
Yeah, I got that
That's
mixed up from your vampire.
Listen, I just told you it's locked up like a colander, man. It's got a bunch of holes. Shit slips through.
Well, thank everyone for watching this episode of The Adventures of Athoria, episode 89.
Yeah, for real. If you made it to the end, after giving you numerous reasons to tune out, if you made it to the end, we especially appreciate you. I mean, if we had more people watching the stream, I'd say let's give away a t-shirt or something. But, you know.
But everyone have a great night.
Thank you all, everybody. Thank you all for showing up, watching this. There's a tons of crazy stuff that will happen next week, because it's just not going to be a normal spa day, since Volray decided he wants to have a spa day. And now we have Spitney to talk about. And now we have Fall Yandere to talk to. And Kelmac hopefully will be back.
He did that just to piss you off.
I'm excited. I love it. It's great use of the assassin background too. Like, ooh, never seen that before. Thank you, Clone RVN. It's a first-time chatter for following too, as he's hopped in right at the end of that. Hopefully you come back next week. We'll be back here at 8 p.m. next week, or 7 p.m.
Central Standard.
Central, middle of the U.S. Standard Time.
Yeah, Central Time.
And eventually, at the end of the month, Jason will be back. But
yes,
not this week. Sorry.
Not this week.
Last
It's
week,
okay.
yes.
Yeah. YouTube has all of our videos as well. Twitch, Facebook. You can follow our social medias. But YouTube, if you ever want to know what we did in the last session, just go check out YouTube. That's all on there for you. Thank you, everybody. Join us next week, 7 p.m. as we continue the adventures in Athoria for episode chapter 90.
Next session.
90.
I know,
and you guys are still
XC.
freaking level 10. Like last campaign, I think was the longest, and you guys hit what?
It was 7. We got to 17.
117. That's what you got. No, you got to level 17. But the session number.
It was probably like 140.
Level 18.
Something like. I was thinking like 137. So like 135 to 140, something like that. And if you guys reach the same level this time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what would that end up being? Because basically,
can't do cross division on this one. There's no chance.
Yeah. So wait, 90 episodes, 10 levels. That's 9 sessions per level. So times 16 would be 144. So yeah, if you guys continue at the same pace, we may add 5 to 10 more sessions than the previous campaign.
Hey, it will get nothing accomplished. Will
get nothing accomplished because, yeah.
Spitney. Blame Spitney now. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Have a good night.
For another Adventures in Athoria, episode 90. Good night. Enjoy yourself. Farewell.
Murder.
What? I have a cow.